List of three women's junior 13s racing a 3-minute race. And in that we have Violet Mangan, Lauren Dean and Bethany Killeen. And they all are from Tullahan Bay, which is a good rowing club in Mayo. They're a good community of rowers, and they organise rowing activities in the area and get youths involved, and masters, and a good group of characters down in Mayo. And it's going to be a good bit of racing today, and welcome to the live stream, and hope you have a bit of fun.
You nervous?
Oh, I'm nervous, yeah, I'm nervous sitting here.
Bit nervous myself. If you do experience any trouble throughout the race, make sure to take a photo. Say you disconnect, make sure you take a photo and you send an email to virc support@rowfit.ie. That's virc support@rowfit.ie. So Joe, he's behind the scenes here. He'll take care of that. He'll take the photo. He'll verify it, and make sure everything's okay. If you need any info throughout the day, go to www.irc.ie/VIRC. This is the first race of this is the first part of the series. So we have the 3rd of October, we have the 24th of October, and then we have the 21st of November, accumulating in the PIRC, the Provincial Indoor Rowing Championships, all virtually, of course, obviously given the times. But we have hand sanitizer here for the afternoon, for hands, and we're also 2 meters apart, and the lads are wearing face masks, so it's all good in here. We're very excited to see Violet, Lauren, and Bethany take on this 3-minute piece. As you can see, if you're looking at your screen at home, if you're looking at the live stream, you can see the boat set up. That is brought to you by Time Team. The stream can be got on www.timeteam.nl. So we have 1 minute to go until the race. Start settling in, getting ready, seeing what's in front of you. Are you nervous? Do you like this part of the race? Or?
I do. It's a great part of the race. I'm sure the girls are all nervous, but yet excited to be a part of the first race of the row series.
Definitely.
It's going to be a great moment in their rowing careers, I'd say. And as you can see, you don't have to stop rowing and let the handles stop, and we'll get going then. You'll follow your screen for the instructions. But best of luck to all the competitors, and have a good race.
Lovely. So the flywheels will come to a stop. Just keep following the instruction on your screen for the competitors at home. If you're a family member, friend, granny, granddad, aunt, make sure you get around your person and support them. Show them some love. It's 3 minutes long, so it'll be about anywhere between 500 and 800 meters. Should be very enjoyable. So make sure you stop rowing. You're still following the instructions on your screen. Getting ready now. Attention. And we're off. The first race, the women's junior 13 3-minute piece. We're off on time, so we are. We have an early lead by Violet Mangan. She's out ahead. She's rating 37. Rate's gone through the roof. She's really taken a strong lead at the start. She's pushing out ahead 50 meters into the race. How do you go about the start? Do you like taking a strong start?
You have to go all out for these races. It's 3 minutes. It's a very short race, but it feels like a lifetime on the erg. But you have to go off strong, try and get into your rhythm, and just hang on for the last minute to go for home. And Violet Mangan's doing just that, and she's starting to stride it now into her mid-race pace, into the 40-second marker. Closely followed by Bethany, and then Lauren as well.
Bethany rating 40 here. Would that be your kind of go-to? Would you like to rate that high?
Close, but I think she might have me on the rate at the moment. Yeah. She's rating very high, and she's very ambitious, but it's paying off for her, and they're doing both really, really well. All three athletes really pushing on now. As we pass the first minute marker, Violet is still up at rate 40 there, pulling great numbers.
Yeah,
it's fantastic stuff. Let's see if she can hold this pace now for the rest of the race. But well
senior international athletes would struggle to hit those rates, would you say?
Oh, definitely. It's great stuff off these girls here.
2:10, a fantastic split. So we're just coming up to halfway now. Violet Mangan has a 39 meter lead, 40 meter lead over Bethany Killeen, who has an 86 meter lead over Lauren Dean. So just past halfway, 350 meters into the race. Violet is rating 37, holding a split of 2:25. She's pushing out strong now. She's extending her lead with every stroke. But fair dues to Bethany Killeen and Lauren Dean. They're pushing on strong as well. The rates are still through the roof. Their splits are consistent as well, and that's what you like to see. You like to see a nice consistent split. You don't want to go off too hard,
especially in a high intensity in a race like this. If you can get consistent, you're in a good place and you're striding. And all the supporters get behind your crews now in the last minute as they're passing the 450 marker for Violet. They're really going for it now. Still up at 39, still pushing on strong.
So we've 45 seconds to go, just coming up to the 500 meter mark. Make sure you're cheering on your person, your loved one at home. 64 meters between Violet and Bethany. Violet still striding out, rate 40, an incredible rate, 2:21, holding that consistent speed. Then we have Bethany Killeen, 69 meters behind, 36, rating 36, holding a consistent speed as well at 2:50. Lauren Dean then, she's coming in third place, rating 33, fine high rate as well. All three of these girls are rating nice and high, holding a consistent speed of 2:50. So as they come into the last 10 seconds now, they're really pushing hard for the line. Legs are filling with lactate.
The legs are full already, the lungs are burning, but it's the last couple of strokes now. They're really pushing on. Well done to all these crews.
Brilliant stuff. And that's the first race.
Good stuff.
Lovely to see. So these results, they're unofficial. So we have to wait 30 minutes just for the race results to be verified, and we'll have the race results the official race results in 30 minutes. We'll see a podium hopefully, but unofficially we have Violet Mangan coming in with 651 meters. We have Bethany Killeen coming in second with 562, and Lauren Dean with 510 meters. So there's going to be some bragging rights back in Tullahan Bay, I'd say, amongst the three girls. Yeah. I reckon will Violet have this over Bethany and Lauren, or are they all good friends? You would wonder. Would you have it over me? Would you? You'd let me know if
at times when needed. It's something to have in the back pocket to keep over them.
to keep someone quiet if they were getting a bit loud. But an incredible race by all three girls. So it was.
Hopefully we'll have some more exciting racing now as the day progresses.
Definitely.
And well done to all the girls.
So what's coming up next, Ryan? What have we? Do we have another women's J13 or?
The next race we'll have up, it will be three females again, all from Tullahan Bay.
Perfect.
As they're using more than they have 6 rowers and they only have 3 ergs down there. So what they have to do is continue with the races broken up so they can compete. As they're so keen to compete for the first of the race series, they'll be racing each other again. So it'll be an identical race to the one we just had, but hopefully it'll be just as exciting.
Nice one. So just to, if you feel you've done it, if you feel you've pulled a great score, you can check out the records at concept2.co.uk, and you can see how you stand against other rowers all around the world. So the next race will be taking place at 11:45. So that's 11:45 with the women's junior 13. We have another women's junior 13 3-minute piece, and we look forward to that.
So the results aren't set or official yet. One of these girls could take Violet Mangan's position. So let's see if they can get anywhere close or beat her. So should be exciting stuff to watch.
Definitely. And just remember, if you're racing, so say just with Tullahan Bay, if you're racing at home and you have your own space, that's perfect. But just remember, if you're racing in a club with a laptop, just remember to take a step back and keep 2 meters apart, because it's great that we're out rowing now. It's absolutely fantastic.
Definitely.
It was a while back now, April and May, we didn't think this would be possible, but this is just incredible. Sitting here watching everybody race at home,
and all your training's paying off here now with these races. It's great to see so many athletes coming back, and should be great.
So we're just going to have a look at the schedule there. So at 11:45 we have the women's junior 13 3-minute piece, and then at 12 o'clock we have the men's junior 13 3-minute piece. And bringing us up to 12:15, we'll have a race with 3 categories in it. So we have the men's junior 15 1k, we have the men's junior 16 1k 1000 meter piece, and then we have the women's junior 15 1000 meter piece. So that's what we have in store for the next half an hour to 45 minutes. Looking forward to it all. Would you like to be taking part today, or are you happy to be sitting behind the mic?
At first you kind of want to be not racing, but as you see, it's a hard race to do. But once you kind of see the competitors racing and having fun with it, and you're kind of a bit jealous. You want to get involved and get racing, but I'm not jealous of them. The nerves and all the pre-race prep. It's very nerve-wracking stuff.
So we have another commentator called Niamh Hayes, and Niamh has prepped these videos, these media files for us. So we're just going to show you a little clip of Sunita and talking about her role models and the indoors. So if we could go to that now.
Are there people in your life or maybe other athletes who you would look up to and who might be role models to you?
Like when I was junior, I used to look up to another girl, and she used to go to the same boarding school, and her work ethics was amazing. So, and I was lucky enough I got to race a double with her at the university championships that we won. Yeah, she was the girl I used to look up to when I was growing up as an athlete. These days, I look at my teammates and I see how hard they work. You know, I don't really need to look for some celebrity or really famous person to look up to, because I don't know what they do on a daily basis. So it's more beneficial to me to look up somebody who's working beside me. How are they handling all that? And yeah, it'd be again teammates, I suppose.
And obviously you've become such a role model yourself to athletes all over the world, and you know, you'd see it at the Irish Indoor Championships, I think in particular, and you'd be on the erg and you'd be going through an awful lot of pain, but all of us would be there standing watching you and just taking it all in. That must be a nice feeling, you know, having people like that look up to you.
You don't actually notice when you're doing it. Let's say you mentioned indoors there. I had no idea, like, yeah, there's people, but they're always there, so I didn't really notice. And God, the facial expressions are so embarrassing. Yeah, I suppose hopefully people can take something away from my journey. Then that would be nice for me to know, you know, and if I can inspire a few people, then my job is done. And it is always quite nice to go to indoors and kids want to take photo. It does take a long time to get from the changing rooms to the doors, but it is really nice that kids want to take a picture with you, and I know it's not going to last forever. They're very precious moments that I'll be remembering probably when I'm 20 years from now, when I'll be sitting at home alone, retired, you know, looking at pictures and all that, and just thinking how nice it used to be.
I have no doubt in 20 years' time you'll still be going to the indoors and you'll still be breaking records.
As a spectator, probably. And I'll be asking people, come take a photo with me, please. I used to be good 20 years ago. Take a photo with me.
So that was Sunita talking about her role models and her experience at the Indoor Rowing Championships. At the Indoor Rowing Championships is quite the event. It's an event that I've particularly found personally. I've found it very difficult over the years, but have come away with some PBs. How have you found it?
Yeah, it's a very intense and very competitive atmosphere that Joe Cantlin has created over the past few years, and that's been his pride and joy every November and every January.
He really loves it, doesn't he?
He does. Yeah,
it's what he lives for.
Yeah.
So yeah, what we just want to reinstate and reaffirm with you is, if you have any technical difficulties at all, don't stop rowing. Keep rowing, keep going. If you disconnect at all, that's okay. That's perfectly normal. It's to be expected. But just make sure you take a photo. Just have some evidence, take a photo, and send it to VIRC support at ROWfit.ie. That's VIRC support at ROWfit.ie. And the lads here behind the scenes wearing their face masks, they'll take care of everything. They'll make sure, they'll verify it, and they'll put it through the system. Results do take a while to come through, but just bear with us. It's our first time as well, and but it'll all get taken care of. It'll all be published. So next up, with the next race, the women's junior 13 category, Niamh Hayes is going to take over the commentary. Niamh has been doing coastal rowing for over 20 years with her club, Galley Flash Rowing Club in West Cork. Last October, she competed at the World Rowing Coastal Championships in Hong Kong, of all places, in the women's single, and finished 14th in the A final. She also competed at the World Rowing Indoor Championships in Paris last February, competing in the lightweight women's open category, finishing 4th in the 500 metre piece, 9th in the 2000 metre piece, and 31st in the mixed relay. So that's an incredible CV to have.
It is indeed.
We're going to pass you over to her now, and she's going to take you through the women's junior 13 3-minute piece.
Thank you so much, Tom and Ryan, there in studio. So we're about 4 minutes away from the start of the second race, which is another women's junior 13. So as Tom and Ryan were saying, the first race was women's junior 13 as well, but it's because all the competitors are from Tullahan Bay Rowing Club up in Mayo, and they just didn't have enough ergs for them all to compete at the same time. So we have 3 more girls from the club rowing in the second race. So first up, we have Alex Calpin, we have Kate Walsh, and we have Alicia Calpin. So as I said, the 3 of them are all from Tullahan Bay, and they're going to be competing now shortly in the next 3 minutes or so. And I must say that I'm looking at their ages, and it's so incredible to see such young girls competing. So Alex is just 10 years old, Kate is 12, and Alicia is 11. So it's great to see rowers of that age competing in something like this. And actually all 3 girls they competed at the Irish Indoor Rowing Championships back at the start of this year. And they all did incredible, and they've all experienced rowing this sort of race, this 3-minute piece. With Alex, she came 43rd out of 47 people. So there was 47 people in their category last January at the Indoor Championships. And so she rowed the 3 minutes, she rowed 580 metres. Kate then, she came 44th, she rowed 565 metres, and Alicia came 36th, rowing 615 metres. So they all have a baseline, which I'm sure they're hoping to beat now today. They also, at the Indoor Rowing Championships, they also competed in the 500 metre race, with Alex coming 44th. She rowed 500 metres in 2 minutes 42.4 seconds. Kate came 43rd. She rowed 500 metres in 2 minutes 39.5 seconds. And Alicia came 40th. She rowed 500 metres in 2:29.2. So these girls are well used to competing at indoor events, so I'm sure they're getting excited. They've only just less than 2 minutes to go before the start of the race. And it's great to see such a stronghold from Tullahan Bay Rowing Club. You know, we had the 3 girls in the first race. We have 3 in this race, and I know there's more from the club coming up a little later on in other categories. So we're into the last minute now before the race starts. So the girls are gearing up. They're going to be stopping rowing to let the flywheel come to a stop on the erg. I'm sure at this point now the nerves are kicking in a little bit, but the girls should remember that, you know, all the hard work is done now at this point. They've put in the training, and they just need to relax and enjoy the whole thing now. So not long to go now. And as I said, just remember the age of these girls, 10, 11 and 12. That's incredible to be competing at something like this. So they're getting ready. Big deep breaths. And they're off. So Alex Calpin, Kate Walsh and Alicia Calpin. They're off in the women's junior 13 3-minute race. And it's neck and neck at the moment between Kate and Alicia. Just 1 meter between them. They're all their rates are quite high at the moment. They're all hitting around the 40, 38, 40. But that's exactly what you need to do in such a short race like this. So we have Kate with a slight early lead, just over Alicia. Alex rowing at about 41 strokes a minute, which is incredible. And just remember, she's just 10 years old. So Kate just showing that early lead again. So the rates are coming down slightly. They're now settling into it. They're rating around 36, 37, which is still quite high. Just passing the 200 meter race. As I said, these girls are well used to these sort of races, rowing at the Irish Indoor Rowing Championships back in January. So they know what it's like. They know what the pressure is like. Just under 2 minutes left to go now. They're just passing the 250 meter mark. So they're all settled in nicely, rating in the early 30s with great splits. Kate just pulling out a lead there with a split of 225. She's 8 meters ahead of Alicia, who's keeping that rate quite high, 36, 37, 38. And they're halfway through, just a minute and a half left. So, and Alex
she's racing at around 33, which again is quite high at this stage in the race. And they're shortly going to be coming up to the 1 minute mark left, which is when they have to gear up. They have to put in the last push. So they're now passing the 400 meter mark. And as they come up to 1 minute left, Kate is still out ahead, but Alicia is only 1 meter behind. There's going to be a big push now with Alex coming in on third place. So Alicia's just overtaken Kate. Alicia's upped her rate. She's now rating around 39. With Kate, she's still hanging on in there. So they're just after passing the 500 meter mark with just over 30 seconds left. Alicia's putting in a big sprint now. She's up to 37 strokes a minute. 38. She's just pulling ahead of Kate, who's just ahead of Alex. Well done, girls. There's just 20 seconds left. Alicia's after pulling out a nice lead now on Kate, with Alex hanging on in there, pulling really strong. She's up to 42 strokes a minute. They're into the last 10 seconds. And it is Alicia hanging on in there. Well done, girls. So we have the unofficial results at the moment is Alicia Calpin has rowed 628 metres, Kate Walsh 619 metres, and Alex Calpin has 613 metres. That was incredible for a 3-minute race. I know how hard those are. You think in the grand scheme of things 3 minutes is quite short, but when you're on an erg, it can be quite long, and it can seem like it goes on forever. So well done, girls. Now remember, those results are unofficial for 30 minutes. That's just to allow in case there was any race disconnects. And if you have had any problems, make sure you complete your race, see it through, then take a photograph of your performance monitor with your completed race and send it to virc@rowfit.ie. So well done again, girls. And just to reiterate their ages, Alex is just 10 years old, Kate is 12, and Alicia 11. So brilliant. That was great stuff. Well done, girls. Now, and also because the 3 of you are from Tullahan Bay and we had the 3 in the last race, we'd love to see your photos and your comments. So please do send them in to us on social media. You can send them into Twitter, which our Twitter handle is @IrishIndoorsRow, or send them in on Instagram and tag @ROWfit, because we'd love to see what the setup is like up in Tullahan Bay. We'd love to see you all rowing. So make sure you send in your photos there. Okay, so we are gearing up for the next race. So I am going to hand you back to studio to Tom and Ryan.
Thank you very much for that, Niamh. Incredible racing by the 3 girls from Tullahan Bay. Where are we at now, Ryan? What's coming up?
Right now we have the schedule, which will be the next race is the men's junior 15 1K, the men's junior 16 1K, and the women's junior 15 1000 metres.
Just to double check, do we have the 12 o'clock? Have we men's junior 13 coming up before that?
Oh, my apologies, sir. I went ahead of the schedule. Men's junior 13, 3-minute piece.
Getting very, very eager.
I went one ahead. My apologies to the viewers at home.
So what do we have after that then? Do we have that race coming up then at 12:15? The men's junior 15, men's junior 16, and women's junior 15 1000 metre piece. And then at 12:30, taking us up to in a half an hour for the next 45 minutes, we will have the men's 55 to 59, men's 60 to 64, and men's 65 to 69 1000 metre piece. So loads to look forward to over the next 40 to 45 minutes. So yeah. Have you had experience? Did you ever have experience rowing the men's junior 15 or women's? not women's, but
getting
the men's
a few
junior 16.
flashback moments from
1000 metre pieces at the indoors.
Rowing the 3-minute pieces and the 1000 metre pieces. They're small stepping stones into getting more obsessed with the sport and getting a nice competitive atmosphere with kids your own age, and it's really takes you on to the older years of where we are now.
Just a bit about yourself. You by any chance, you didn't win junior single in 2018, did you?
I did.
Would that be true?
I did the national championships in 2018. Won the men's junior scull.
It's no biggie, no.
It's no biggie, no.
Yeah, it's a small one.
It's only a small thing to mention. No, it's great, and I think a lot of my training was throughout the indoors with Joe. I've been with that every year, and it's a key part in training and for periodization throughout the year. So, yeah, it's a good way to get up the fitness and get to the place you want to be on your scores. So
definitely a just reward as well after all the hard work.
It is.
So we're just going to cut. We have another video made by Niamh Hayes, the wonderful Niamh. She made a video with Paul O'Donovan talking about indoor rowing technique. So we're just going to go to that now.
I've seen you rowing at the Irish Indoor Rowing Championships, and you have a very interesting technique during your 2K. So tell me, where did that come from and what's it all about?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, is it that interesting? I think I rattled the chain a bit there at the finish of the stroke, and everyone kind of talks about it then a little bit. But I've been doing it now with a while, and I don't know how or why it started. And people are saying, "Oh, you can't be doing that in the boat." But sure, I mean, we're on a rowing machine, like it's not the rowing boat. If you can't row the rowing machine like the rowing boat, it'll be like if you're going out for a jog and people are saying, "Oh, that's not the rowing movement." Like it's a different form of exercise, in my opinion. Like you've a chain on the rowing machine there that just goes up and down, and the oars in the rowing boat then are kind of the angles are changing on those. So it's a different machine altogether. So I mean, I try not to read into it too much. Like I think once you have sound technique in the boat, that's the most important thing, and it doesn't really matter what you're doing on other modalities of exercise then too much. I wouldn't be advising people to do what I do, to be honest. Just whatever they kind of feel they get the best rhythm from is probably the best thing to go with. You know, none of the other guys on the team row the rowing machine the way I tend to row it, and we fit in the boat quite well together. So I don't think there's huge issues with it, really.
Do you think that technique makes you a little bit faster?
I wouldn't say so, no. Well, I mean, it's just how I happen to row, and so if I try to change it to something else, I mightn't be as fast, or maybe I'd be faster. I've not really tried and tested these things. To be honest, it's just what I feel I like to do, so I tend to do that. Dominic gives out a little bit, alright, but
I'm sure you're well used to that, though.
yeah, he doesn't mind as long as I can row properly in the boat, even though I can't do that either. But as long as I'm some bit better, he doesn't seem to care too much.
An incredible video there by Paul, true champion, the beacon for Irish rowing. They really set the scene in 2016 with that Olympic win, and then the Olympic silver medal, and then going on to win at the World Championships 2 weeks later.
Yeah. And
then following that up over the course of the following years. So we'd just like to reaffirm again, lads, if and ladies out there, if you have any technical difficulties, just keep going, keep rowing, don't stop. Take a photo of the erg, take a photo of the monitor. Make sure you send it on to VIRC support at ROWfit.ie. That's VIRC support at ROWfit.ie. We have masterminds here behind the scenes. You can only see these two pretty faces at the moment, but there's lads running around here with face masks on, and they'll sort it all out for you. So make sure you send that email in if you run into any difficulty or if the erg connects. Put out a good time, do your best, and then take a photo, send it in. So what do we have next? What did we say we had next?
We had the men's junior 13 next.
Brilliant.
We have
stuff.
6 competitors in that.
Lovely. So do you want me to go through them?
Sure.
Perfect. So we got Oisin O'Shea from Lee Valley Rowing Club. We have Dara O'Mahony. We have Tiernan Gaughan from Tullahan Bay. Yep. We have Dara Gallagher from Gisla Ballina, Tullahan Bay Rowing Club as well. We have Luke Carty. And then we have Ewan Mullins from Crew Class. So that's a class brought to you by Niall O'Toole. So he's teaching people how to row, and they're working wonders up in Dublin. So they are. So there's if you look at the ages here, there's quite the spread. So you have 11-year-olds, and then you have 12-year-olds, and you have 13-year-olds. Like, would that make a big difference? Does that?
Yeah, but I think it'd be a good bit of experience for 11-year-olds like Luke Harty and Tiernan Gaughan. They're very ambitious, but they're going to go for it, and all credit to them. I think it'd be a great experience and a great bit of fun for them to go against some of their fellow teammates and some fellas that are older than around the country. So there's not too many young kids out there rowing, so it's nice to meet some fellas or get rowing against some fellas the same age as you. So yeah, fair play to them, and hopefully they can give us a good race and something exciting to watch.
I see Oisin O'Shea there, Lee Valley Rowing Club. That's right beside the NRC. Is he getting any extra ergs in with the world champion, or is he a few years off that? Yeah,
maybe a few years still, but sure, if he keeps it up and he gets the training right, he could be rowing alongside the Donovan brothers and some of the big characters in Cork in the NRC, hopefully in years to come, and dare I say maybe another junior single champion, but we shall see.
So we have 1 minute to go to the race, so again the nerves are kicking in. We're just starting to relax now, getting ready for the start, making sure the last sips of water, the last couple of strokes, making sure the drag factor is all set up. And just to reaffirm, if you run into any technical difficulties, just keep going, keep ploughing on with your piece. So we have 3 minutes again coming up, so nice and relaxed. If you're watching this on YouTube and you have a loved one in, say, the sitting room on the erg and you're inside in the kitchen, just make sure you give them a shout, show them some love. Huge support coming in. So we're just getting ready now, all competitors to stop rowing. Just following the instructions on your screen. Attention. And we're off. Another perfect start without a hitch. Darragh O'Mahony off to an early lead, but there's only 1 metre. There's nothing between the two. All crews up over 30, rating above 30 strokes a minute. That's, again, fantastic rating.
40, yeah, it's great stuff off these 4 athletes. We are missing 2 at the moment, but I'm sure they can do their own race and submit their time before the 30 minutes is up. So just because you're winning or ahead, keep pushing on. There could be 2 fellas at home trying to outbeat that score now, so keep pushing. And
Darragh Gallagher there, rating 38, 141. An incredible split for a men's junior 13 athlete.
Definitely.
So we're just passing the 200 metre mark here. Darragh Gallagher 10 metres ahead of Darragh O'Mahony. Tiernan Gone 55 metres behind Darragh O'Mahony, and then we have Luke Carty sitting just 4 metres back from Tiernan Gone. So we're just passing 1 minute into this race. They're really starting to feel it now. How would you describe
their pace now? The legs are starting to fill with the lactate and the lungs are starting to burn, and you have to make sure the technique stays and you stay on your pace and keep it consistent. Consistency is a big key into the longer sprints. You have to make sure that you're staying on your technique and on your rhythm.
We've Luke Carty here. He's 11 years old. There's very few 11-year-olds doing what he's doing at the moment. He's rating over 40 and he's holding a split of 2:30. He's pushing out hard, very hard. He's coming up to 400 metres and we're just over halfway through the race. Again, we have Darragh Gallagher out in front, rating 37, a fantastic rate, and he's holding
great scores.
Yeah, brilliant split as well of 147, just passing the 500 metre mark. Then we have Darragh O'Mahony, 32 metres behind. He's holding a fantastic rate as well of 31, keeping it consistent. Neither of the 2 lads have gone above 2 minute split. He's holding a 157 split, so he's cruising along nicely now with 1 minute to go. Then we have Tiernan Gone. He's sitting about 100 metres back from Darragh O'Mahony, again rating 49, incredible rate. He's pushing it out very strong.
Yeah, good competition with Luke Carty there, both 11-year-old, and they're a good competition between each other, and this is what they came here for, to race guys around the country that are like for like with them. And it's great to see such a competitive race going on between 2 sections of the race, between the 2 Darraghs in first and second, and Luke and Tiernan in third and fourth there.
That race for third is quite something else, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
2 11-year-olds, incredible stuff, pushing it out. They have another 2 years in this age group.
Yeah, it's phenomenal stuff off them. Hopefully we'll see them for the other 2 series now in the end of the month and the 21st of November. And hopefully they can get more 11-year-olds just like them to race against and get more competition going.
Definitely. So coming into the last 10 seconds now, we've Darragh out in front. Darragh Gallagher 47 metres out in front. He's pushing hard now. The lungs and the legs are burning at this stage, but they've given it their all, and we're just after crossing the line there. So these results are unofficial. It'll take us about 30 minutes to finalise the results, but unofficially we have Dara Gallagher coming in first place with 849 metres in 3 minutes.
That's
then we have
stuff.
Dara O'Mahony coming in second, 799, just shy of the 800 metres, but an incredible achievement. And then third place, Tiernan Gaughan, we have 661 metres for an 11-year-old. That's incredible.
Stuff,
and just behind him then we have Luke Carty. In 3 minutes, Luke did 624 metres. Again, results are unofficial. We were meant to have 2 more athletes in this race. Ergs may not have connected properly, but not to worry. Take a photo, send it in, and we'll have the finalised results in about 30 minutes time. But incredible racing.
Well done again to all 4 athletes there. And we should have maybe one or two more scores coming in from Oisin and Ewan if they finish their race or competed. Again, please send your scores to VIRC support at ROWfit.ie, and we'll get your results in with the rest of the group, and hopefully you've made podium.
Definitely. Incredible stuff. Incredible. So we're running a pretty good schedule here. I think we're ahead of time. Have we? What have we coming up?
For the next races, we have the men's junior 15, men's junior 16, and the women's junior 15 1,000 meter piece.
Brilliant.
And we see a good range of athletes, and as we go on, we should see the groups getting bigger and more competitive. So it should be some good racing to go on for the rest of the day.
Fantastic. Speaking of young athletes, we a wide range there, 11 to 13 year olds. Incredible stuff by all, but we have a media clip here by Monika Dukerska and her advice to young rowers. So we're just going to cut to that now.
What advice would you give to young rowers who are aiming to maybe, represent Ireland on an international stage at some point?
I would say definitely train hard. And I think most importantly, enjoy what you're doing. I think that love for the sport is very important, and not even early on, but throughout your rowing career. And surround yourself with people that you can count on. Like I found that having Michael Fleming as my coach early on, he knows me very well. And even now, even though he doesn't coach me on a daily basis, he can support me, even have a chat or just ask me how things are going. And I think having that link with the club at whatever level you are at, it's very important.
And do you think, is sport something that every kid, I suppose, should get into?
I think it's an important part of life, and I would encourage everyone to get involved in some sort of sport. It doesn't have to be rowing, it could be pretty much anything. Some people may decide to bring it to another level and, either row internationally or play internationally and, push themselves to that level. But I don't think you have to go that far. I think that sport in general teaches you so many valuable skills. It helps you make friends. It just develops you as a person. So I think it's important to get involved in sport at some level, because you can definitely benefit from it.
An incredible video there by Monika Dukerska about her advice, what she would advise young rowers to do when they're taking up the sport. We've really seen an increase in younger rowers joining the sport after the 2016 Olympics, which has been fantastic. But that didn't really apply to us. We've been rowing for a while. I think I started in 2012. When did you pick up the sport?
Same year.
2012 as well.
I came into the St Michael's Rowing Club just after Tom here in Limerick, and no, it's a great club to get rowing in and get early competition and getting fitness and fell in love with the sport and continued it through the years. And with Joe's indoors events every November and January, it was enough to keep you going throughout the hard winter months and the winter mileage, and got more competitive as you got older. There's more and more people involved, because there wasn't too many kids my age starting back then, and now, as you said, since 2016 there's more and more young kids coming in, and it's really good to see a new crop of athletes and making the sport bigger, which is great.
Yeah, I think when I joined, in kind of my scenario, I would have joined say end of 2012 after the London Olympics, and we didn't have too much success. We sent a few crews. I know Sunita Pushpur went in the single and she did very well, but you can really see the difference between just after the 2012 Olympics and just after the 2016 Olympics.
The progression.
Big time. Yeah, it's become a lot more professional. I certainly, I would have finished up training when I was 12 or 13 and gone straight for the digestive biscuits and the wine gums. But I think the kids nowadays are, they're certainly eating a bit cleaner and training a bit harder than what I did. But
Definitely.
But certainly, it's an incredible sport to get into, and I'd recommend anyone. And that's why it's so fantastic to see 11-year-olds racing. You know, it's brilliant. So when was your first race? Your first, we'll say, rowing race, and was it different to what we have? Your first indoor race, we'll say.
Well, my first race was my actual an indoors race, which was probably good for me. It kind of really brought the nerves out, and it was kind of the unknown of what you to expect with rowing and racing. And it was good fun, and it was nerve-wracking all the same, but it was great.
A bit different to this, obviously. You know, Joe had everything set up, but at home, if you're struggling to set up and you need to find out how to connect, Brian, one of the lads behind the scenes here, would have sent out a how to connect video, and you would have got it in an email when you signed up for the race. We didn't have to worry about that back in our day.
No.
But certainly if you have any trouble connecting, just
Hello, and welcome to this quick instructional video on how to connect your rowing machine to our virtual indoor racing events. You will need the following: a Concept 2 rowing machine, a laptop or PC with Google Chrome installed, Wi-Fi internet access, and an AB printer cable. An AB printer cable looks like this. It's got a USB-A connector at one end and a USB-B connector on the other end. The most common use of these cables is a printer, so if you have a DeskJet or inkjet at home, you'll be able to grab one of those, or else you can buy it at any standard computer shop. I also have, for demonstration purposes only, a PM5 and a PM3. Now obviously on the day, these will be connected to your rowing machine. I've only disconnected them to show you where to connect your cables. So if you have an older PM3 model, the connector you're looking for is under here. For the PM4 and PM5 model, your connector is located here at the back, and we're using this connector here. So we just pop in one side of our network cable, or our AB cable, in here. Note that we're not using the top two connectors. These are for network RJ5 connectors only, and you will not need these on the day. So once you've connected both the other end of the USB cable to your laptop, you'll be first presented with a screen like this. Now, it's very important to use Google Chrome. This is the recommended browser we support. So to enable it correctly, you copy this link here into your Google Chrome, which will lead you to a page like this. Now, the setting we're looking for is experimental web platform features. We need to enable this feature and then relaunch the browser. Once you've relaunched the browser, you'll be redirected. When you put in the same link you've used previously, you can connect to your ergometer successfully. So you just pick your ergometer, hit connect. And there's also a very useful feature here for a connectivity test, which will test the strength and speed of your broadband connectivity. So run a quick test and let you know if your broadband is up to strength or not. So we're all good here to go, so we're ready for the race. Now, it's highly advisable we do these tests and connectivity prior to the actual race. So obviously on the day before, or maybe or the morning before the race, please give this a go and make sure you connect.
So just a quick reminder, if you're at home and you have siblings and parents or guardians, grannies, granddads, whoever you have at home with you, make sure that you're the only person using the Wi-Fi. I know it's a bit of an ask, but we're having some connectivity issues at the moment. So make sure you have nothing connected to the PM5, PM3, PM4 monitor, no heart rates, no USB dongles, just your computer. And make sure that you're the only person using the Wi-Fi, or as little people as possible. So, and once you have that, there should be no problems at all. But if you do have problems, again, contact us on the email, vircsupport@rowfit.ie. So we're going to hand it over to Niamh now. Niamh's going to take you through the next race. So over to Niamh Hayes.
Thank you so much, Tom and Ryan. Again, another great race there. So coming up now, we're into race 4, which we have 3 categories in. We have the men's junior 15, we have the men's junior 16, and we have the women's junior 15. So there's just about under 4 minutes to go to the start of that race. So in the junior 15, we have Olin Bradley, who is representing Shandon Boat Club in Cork. In the men's junior 16, we have Micheál Cormac from Nave Micheál Rowing in Westport in Mayo. And then in the women's junior 15, we have 3 competitors. We have Anna Davis from Cloisterbreed in Sporty in Wexford. We have Leah Vaughan from Tullahan Bay, another Tullahan Bay rower there from Mayo. And we have Anna O'Mahony from Lee Valley Rowing Club in Cork. Now, I have to say that we have some very heavy hitters in this race. So Olin Bradley already has quite a few Irish records. So in the 13 to 14 category, he holds the 1 minute, the 100 metre slide, the 100 metre indoor rower, the 500 metre and the 1000 metre Irish record. And he set that 1000 metre record at the Irish Indoor Rowing Championships earlier this year, where he rowed 1000 metres in 3 minutes, 18.8 seconds. So I wonder, will he be trying to beat that now today and go for another Irish record? Then in the junior 16, we have Micheál Cormac. So he also holds some Irish records in the 15 to 16 category. So he holds 1 minute and the 100 metre record. He also competed at the Irish Indoor Rowing Championships earlier this year, and he came first in his category, the 1000 metres, rowing it in 3 minutes, 12.2 seconds. So I'm sure he'll be aiming to beat that now again, to see if the training over the last few months has paid off. And he also rowed the 500 metre and the 2000 metre race at the indoors back in January. Then in the women's junior 15, all 3 competitors also competed at the indoors back in January. Anna Davis was in the women's junior 14 race. And again, I have to note that there was 48 competitors in that race, and she came in the 4-minute race and she came 19th. And there was 50 competitors in the 500 metres and she came 18th in that. We just have under 2 minutes to go to the start of this race, so I'm sure the nerves are kicking in again. So also Leah Vaughan, she competed at the Irish Indoor Rowing Championships in the women's junior 16. I'm just looking at the screen here, and we're going to get all rowers to stop, letting the flywheel of the erg come to a hold. So she raced at 2000 metres at the indoors, rowing 8:46.8. And then Anna O'Mahony, she also competed in the women junior 18 category. So all these rowers are well used to indoor rowing. They're all well used to competitions, and they're gearing up now for the start of this race. So they're all sitting ready. Oh, there was a false start, so we'll just let that restart. And just if you are watching this at home, if you look at your screens, you'll see the 3 different categories going on at the same time. So Olin there in the men's junior 15, he's in yellow. Micheál is the men's junior 16, he's in red. And the 3 ladies are the women's junior 15, and they're in green. So we're all getting them all to stop rowing again. Again, this is the time when the nerves are there, but remember, enjoy it. This is what all the training has been put in for. So we're just waiting for the ergs to come to a stop. They're getting ready. And they are off. So in race number 4 of the day, we have 3 categories going on at the same time. And already there is massive splits going on. So Olin there in the men's junior 15 with a split of 125. We have Micheál Cormac in the men's junior 16 with a split of 133. They're phenomenal splits for the age. They're just 15 and 16. And then we have the 3 ladies in the women's junior 15. So at the moment, it's Leah Vaughan showing an early lead ahead of Anna Davis, with Anna O'Mahony just in third place. But out ahead, it is Olin Bradley. But remember, he is in the category by himself. But I'm sure he'll still be looking at the screen, and he'll still be using the others as a way of motivation to keep going. So he's rating over 40 himself and Michal, which is phenomenal at this stage of the race, which they're coming up to 1 minute. And remember, this is a 1,000 meter race. This is the first 1,000 meter piece of the day. So they're just over a minute in. Olin settling back his stroke right now with 34.35. Michal still rowing quite high. He's up around the 40. With the girls, then you have Leah, followed by Anna O'Mahony, followed by Anna Davis. There is very little between all three of those ladies in the women's junior 15 race. So Michal now still pulling an incredible split there, 1:33 at the moment, rating 39 strokes a minute, up to 39, 40, 41. Olin is in the high 30s as well, rating 1:38, and the two boys are just passing the 400 meter mark. The ladies then, Anna O'Mahony is now after taking the lead over Leah Vaughan, followed by Anna Davis. There's very little between those three ladies. Anna O'Mahony is holding a nice split there, 1:56, race 28, which is a nice race for this length race. So they are 2 minutes in, and with less than 300 meters to go for Olin and Michal. Olin and Michal are just coming up to 200 meters left. So this is where you will see the splits going down and the rate going up. And then the ladies, it's Anna O'Mahony. She's still hanging in there in first place, followed by Leah Vaughan, followed very closely by Anna Davis. So there's very little between second and third there in that race. So Michal there, you can see his split is nicely coming down. He's racing around 36, rowing 1:43, 1:44. Olin then is in the mid. Oh, they're just coming up to the finish line now. The ladies have about 250 meters to go. The Olin and Michal are just coming up to the finish line. Michal's rate nice and high there. Olin hanging on steadily. As Michal finished and Olin finished, and the three ladies, they're just coming up. Anna O'Mahony's just coming up to 100 meters left. The rates are going up. She's followed by Leah Vaughan in second place and Anna Davis in third place. Anna O'Mahony, they're into the last 70 meters or so. Leah and Anna Davis just coming up to the last 100 meters. So you can see the rates are going up slightly. The splits are coming down as they sprint towards the finish. That is Anna O'Mahony just coming to the finish line, followed shortly by Leah Vaughan and Anna Davis just hanging in there into third place. Rates are still going up. Well done, girls. Sprint finish into the last 20 meters. That is Leah Vaughan finish. Well done. Followed by Anna Davis. Super rowing there. So at the moment, these results are unofficial, of course. So you can see that Olin Bradley, who was by himself in the men junior 15, he rowed 3:17.1. And I have a feeling that he's after beating his Irish record, but we'll have to double check that. Michal Cormac there rowing 3:13.3. Anna O'Mahony 3:52.3, Leah Vaughan 4 minutes 7.8 seconds, and Anna Davis 4 minutes 10.2 seconds. Massive well done there. And as I said, they were some heavy hitters in that race. They all are well used to competing in indoor rowing events. They were all at the Irish Indoor Rowing Championships earlier this year. So a huge well done to all 5 of you there. And again, make sure you send us in your pictures, send us your comments. Twitter and Instagram. Our Twitter handle is Irish Indoors Row, and our Instagram handle is @ROWfit. So send in your photographs and your comments. So yes, we'll definitely have to double check if Olin is after breaking his record, which I think he might be after doing, and setting a new Irish record there. So Let me just see if we have any official results. Just remember the race here, race 4, that these results are unofficial for another 30 minutes, just in case there was any difficulties. And remember, if you are disconnected from your race for any reason, make sure you complete your race, then take a photograph of your performance monitor and send it in to VIRC support at ROWfit.ie. So I'm going to send you back now to Tom and.
Perfect. Thanks very much for that, Niamh. That was fantastic. It's very interesting to see like the different class types all racing in one race, and I guess that's just the beauty of indoor rowing and this competition that we're running today. It's just past 12:22. What have we got going up next?
We have the men's 55 to 59, the men's 60 to 64, the men's 65 to 69, 1,000 meter piece next.
Brilliant stuff.
We have probably one of the biggest races we have today, so we look forward to going through the entry list for that. And here we have a video from Niall O'Toole for the crew class intro, please.
So we're just going to go through the results and the podium for the women's junior 13 3-minute piece. So in first place we had Violet Mangan with an incredible score of 651 meters in 3 minutes. In second place we had Alicia Calpin with 628 meters, and then in third place we had Kate Walsh with 619 meters in 3 minutes. So that's a fantastic score by all three girls. Just to remind you that these girls got through the race perfectly, but that might not be the case if you have any connectivity issues. Just remember to take a photo, keep rowing, take a photo of your screen after the race is run, and send us an email at vircsupport@rowfit.ie. That's vircsupport@rowfit.ie. Today is the first day we've ran an event like this. It's going incredibly smoothly, but some people are experiencing technical difficulties. So if you're at home and you've loved ones around the house and friends and family, just make sure that not everybody's on the Wi-Fi. It sounds a bit silly in 2020, but you know we can experience trouble like that too many people are using the modem at once, and you're trying to run a race and it's just slowing down a bit. So make sure you've nothing connected except your laptop to the PM5, to the rowing machine, your PM3, PM4, PM5. Just make sure only your laptop is connected. No heart rate monitor, no USB dongle, just your laptop, and make sure that your family and friends who are at the house, make sure they're not using the Wi-Fi or using too much of the Wi-Fi, because that may contribute to a slower connection and being unable to start. So yeah, if you have any difficulties, email vircsupport@rowfit.ie. And if you need any information as well, it's all up on the website. It's all up on iirc.ie/VIRC, and all the info is there. So yeah, that concludes the technical difficulties, and we're going to keep reminding you throughout the day that if you run into technical difficulties at all, don't be alarmed, don't be stressed, because it's nothing to worry about. We'll get through it, but just remember to take a photo, send it in, and we'll take care of it from there. We've incredible geniuses behind the scenes here, in Brian, Ivan and Joe, and they know exactly what to do. So what do we have coming up next again? We have the men's 55 to 59 1,000 meter piece, we have the men's 60 to 64 1,000 meter piece, and we have the men's 65 to 69 1,000 meter piece. So in that race, we have a very large contingent competing today amongst the 3 classes. Would you want to go through them? Do you want to?
Yeah, so we have one of the biggest races of the day probably here. We have Kristen Ellis. He's from the Eight Oarsmen of the Apocalypse, which is a group of rowers from around the world, some in Ireland as well, United States, Germany. There's a good group of them, and hopefully we can see some good racing off him today. We have Barry Martin from Dalkey Rowing Club. We have Sean Callahan from Steep Home Pirates in the UK. He's 2020 Irish, European and World Indoor Rowing champion in the men's 55 to 59 lightweight. Then we have Michael Creamer of Power Rowing, and he's from Bray Rowing Club here in Ireland, and he is the head man for the Power Rowing in Wicklow. We have Stan Nwaka from London in the UK. He is Taff Attack Racing. Then we have John Mahan from Dublin, crew class, another one of Niall O'Toole's. Pat O'Connor from Tullahan Bay. Oliver Short from St. Pat's and Rowing Club. He is a holder of many Irish records. And then we have Julian Kennedy from Ballymen from the United Kingdom. Empty the Tanks is their rowing club, and multiple medals at the provinces in the 500 and the 2K and the IRC 500 and 2K, and he got silver in the BIRC 500 meter in 2019. And then lastly we have Chris Pym from Kilkenny, and he was an ex-Leinster rugby player. So interesting group of men here ready to rate each other from all different age categories, and should be some good stuff to watch.
I just saw you reading out there, the 8 oarsmen of the apocalypse. That just shows the beauty of indoor rowing and how we have 8 guys all around the world rowing at once. And again, the 3 categories. It's brilliant to see. It's incredible.
Great community of rowers there coming together.
Fantastic. So we've 1 minute to go until the race now. We're running ahead of schedule. So this is the time again. The nerves start to kick in if they haven't already, and you're feeling a bit tense. Stay loose, stay relaxed. Just getting ready to go. As you can see, if you're watching at home on the live stream, you can see the different colours. We have men's 55 to 59 in yellow, men's 60 to 64 in red, and men's 65 to 69 in green. So all the rowers are getting ready now. They're taking their last sips of water. They're stopping rowing now. The erg flywheels, the fans are starting to relax. They're coming to a stop. An incredible mix of athletes about to take hold of this 1,000 meter piece. Getting ready now. Attention. And away we go. We're underway here in the men's 55 to 59, men's 60 to 64 and men's 65 to 69 category as we pass the first 50 metres of the race. It's hard to tell who's out in front here, but I'm thinking Stan Nwaka and Barry Martin are out in front. There's only a metre between them, with Chris Pym just flying into the lead.
Right through the roof.
Very, very close race here in the men's 55 to 59 category. Rates are up through the roof, as you said, 36. Anywhere above 32.
Chris Pym is still at 43. He's flying, and he is rating up and down the slides. With working for him though, holding first place. Followed closely by Stan Nwaka and Barry Martin.
So I see that Oliver Short, he has no... Oh, his data is coming up now. That's perfect. But just don't worry if it starts to slow down. Just keep going. Take a photo afterwards if it's not showing up. But we have him here rating at 36, holding a split of 137. So he's flying along as well. But again, back to the top, we have Chris Pym flying through at rate 37, holding 137. He's an ex-Rugby Leinster player, as he said here. He let us know he's a free agent as well if anybody's looking to sign him. If any rowing clubs are looking to sign him after this race, make sure you contact Chris Pym. Just coming through the 600 metre mark, there's 4 metres between Stan Nwaka and Chris Pym, and then there's another 7 between Sean Callahan and Stan Nwaka. Incredible race by all. So just coming up to halfway. How are they starting to feel? Are they starting to feel the burn? Is the burn already set in?
The burn's already in. It's halfway now for these athletes, and it's going to really start to hurt them now. And this is where you get a bit of true grit, and you really dig deep. And I'm sure Chris Pym is used to that as an ex-rugby player and ex-rugby star. That he's got to push on now, and Stan Nowak is putting it to him, and really he's underrating him but overpowering him at the moment. He's 2 splits lower, and he's really striding out now. Let's see how this progresses now in the last 450 meters. Just over 2 minutes in now, and these athletes are going really well.
We have an interesting race for 4th here between John Mahon and Barry Martin. How do you have to go now? There's 300 meters to go. Would you feel like if you want to take that 4th position, you really have to go for home now?
Well, coming to the last 250, there's nothing really left. I think if you leave it now, you might as well give up, because this is where I kind of really have to hang in there and really push on and really challenge the fella next to you, because it's just who's gonna break first and who has that extra bit of push to get over the line first. And it's really close. Nothing between Stan Nowak and Chris Pym. It's just a matter of 2 meters. And coming up to the last 150 meters now, it's nothing in it.
Just to look at Julian Kennedy coming through there, rating 34 at 151 in the men's 65 to 69 category. That's an incredible time to be pulling away at. Incredible. And he's holding a constant pace. It hasn't dropped at all. He's holding the consistent pace between 149 and 151. And that rate isn't wavering either. It's holding nicely at 32. So just coming into the line now, we have Stan Nowak and Chris Pym pushing for it now. Less than a metre between the two. As they come into the line, who's going to take it? Incredible stuff. 0.001 of a second. These results, again, we have to just let you know that these results, they're unofficial, and we will have them officially verified for you in about 30 minutes. But just as the others come in, we have Michael Creamer here pushing hard for the line. Big sprint finish coming in here. Rating 36, holding 138. Fantastic race. Oliver won't be rowing short, he'll be rowing very long at the moment. He's rating 37, holding 141, pushing hard for the line. A nice tight battle here between Julian and Oliver coming in towards the finish, as they just passed the 50 metre mark. Rating 39.
Strokes,
yeah, big push for the line here from Oliver Short, as he's just overtaken Julian Kennedy. And that concludes the men's 55
what a
to
race
59.
that was.
Yeah, incredible. Men's 60 to 64 and men's 65 to 69.
Unofficially, a 0.1 of a second between Stan and Chris. That was pushed right to the line of both. Fair play to both men. And closely followed by Sean Callahan there. It was some tightly knit racing, and good to see it.
Definitely. So again, we will have these results verified in the next 30 minutes. But unofficially, we have Stan Nowaka, followed very closely by Chris Pym, then Sean Callahan, followed by Barry Martin, John Mahon, Michael Creamer, Oliver Short and Julian Kennedy. Incredible time by all athletes here.
And up next on the race schedule, we shall have the women's events. So it'll be the women's 40 to 45, women's 50 to 59, 54, women's 55 to 59, and women's 60 to 64, and women's 65 to 69, all for 1,000 meters. And we shall see a good list of entries in that as well, which we'll come to shortly. And if we could watch from our a man that just rode there, Mike Creamer, for the power rowing. He has a short video.
When lockdown closed the gyms, people learned to adapt, and that you don't need all of that exercise equipment to stay fit and in shape. There's been a huge increase in home-based virtual training. I mean, for the price of a gym membership, the Concept 2 rowing machine is the best piece of home exercise equipment that money can buy. It will last you a lifetime. It will give you a much more complete and effective workout than, say, an indoor bike or a treadmill. It never made any sense to go to a gym to walk on a treadmill. So I run daily classes that combine rowing on the virtual river here with bodyweight exercises on Zoom that gives a total body workout. The classes are suitable for all levels. We do timed intervals so everybody in the class starts and finishes at the same time. We don't race, but some people do get very competitive.
In the group classes, there's a really good atmosphere, there's a really good group dynamic. It's attracting people that maybe wouldn't have even necessarily been takers in the past for going to a gym. I feel like I'm getting a sort of team atmosphere whilst also doing my own workout, which is brilliant.
It gives you flexibility to have them online. I just finish work and then just jump in the machine and I can start rowing straight away.
So you can fit it in around your work day or fit it in around family life, which is fantastic. But also you have an opportunity to link in with the wider community. So there's people all over the world who are rowing.
The major attraction for me as well is because Mike is a great instructor.
He is highly motivating. We do a lot of strength training stuff. They're all excellent and he gives a lot to every single class.
He's got an infectious enthusiasm that motivates people, and I think he's really trying to bring the classes to a wider audience. It's great for people of all abilities, so you don't necessarily have to have a background in rowing. It's great for people who just want to keep fit.
It's been transformational for me. I've been doing this regularly every week for the last year and my body's changed significantly.
There's something so rhythmic and something so meditative about the actual process of rowing, and there's this lovely sound of the air running through the ergs and everything. I don't think I've ever been so fit in my life, actually, to be honest, since I've been doing the rowing. And it's pretty much an all-body exercise form, and I think bang for your buck, even compared to running, in terms of cardio and strength, it's hard to beat.
It's a great opportunity to keep fit and to keep competitive as well in the comfort of your own home.
Hello, I welcome to this quick instructional video on how to connect your rowing machine to our virtual indoor racing events. You will need the following: a Concept 2 rowing machine, a laptop or PC with Google Chrome installed, Wi-Fi internet access, and an AB printer cable. An AB printer cable looks like this. It's got a USB-A connector on one end and a USB-B connector on the other end. The most common use of these cables is a printer, so if you have a desk jet or inkjet at home, you may be able to grab one of those, or else you can buy it at any standard computer shop. I also have, for demonstration purposes only, a PM5 and a PM3. Now obviously on the day, these will be connected to your rowing machine. I've only disconnected them to show you where to connect your cables. So if you have an older PM3 model, the connector you're looking for is under here. For the PM4 and PM5 model, the connector is located here at the back, and we're using this connector here. So we just pop in one side of our network cable, or our AB cable, in here. Note that we're not using the top two connectors. These are for network RJ5 connectors only, and you will not need these on the day. So once you've connected both the other end of the USB cable to your laptop, you'll be first presented with a screen like this. Now it's very important to use Google Chrome. This is the recommended browser we support. So to enable it correctly, you copy this link here into your Google Chrome, which will lead you to a page like this. Now the setting we're looking for is experimental web platform features. We need to enable this feature and then relaunch the browser. Once you've relaunched the browser, you'll be redirected. When you put in the same link you've used previously, you can connect to your ergometer successfully. So you just pick your ergometer, hit connect. And there's also a very useful feature here for a connectivity test, which will test the strength and speed of your broadband connectivity. So run a quick test and let you know if your broadband is up to strength or not. So we're all good here to go, so we're ready for the race. Now it's highly advisable we do these tests and connectivity prior to the actual race. So obviously in the day before, or maybe or the morning before the race, please give this a go and make sure you connect correctly. If you have any issues connecting, you can mail us at vircsupport@rowfit.ie. Thanks very much.
Brilliant video there, a lovely video of Michael Creamer, the Wicklow-based man making waves in the indoor rowing scene, even though there's no waves involved. It's a stationary rig. And just also a gentle reminder about how to connect and if you have any trouble at all. So just keep that in mind throughout the day. We're just going to pass it over now to Niamh Hayes again. She's going to take you through the next couple of races. So over to you, Niamh.
Thank you so much, Tom. So we're on to race number 6 of the day, and we have 5 categories taking place. So we have the women's 43 to 49, we have the women's 50 to 54, 55 to 59, 60 to 64, and 65 to 69. So we have 3 competitors in the women's 43 to 49. We have Sonia Furman, who's representing crew class and St. Patrick's Club in Dublin. We have Mary Walsh from Tullahan Bay, another rower from up there in Mayo. And we have Lizzie Gibbon from New Rossbow Club in Wexford. Then in the women's 50 to 54, we have two rowers. We have Sharon Cullen from Crew Class in Dublin, and we have Marie Kinsella from Edermine Ferry Rowing Club in Wexford. Then in the women's 55 to 59, we have one competitor who is Noreen Murphy from Crew Class in Dublin. We have in the women's 60 to 64, we have Margot Lawler from Kerry, and in the women's 65 to 69, we have Jan O'Gorman, who is from Arklow, County Wicklow. So we have just under about 3 minutes to the start of this race. And once again, a lot of these rowers are well used to indoor rowing and competing at indoor rowing events. I see there in the women's 43 to 49, Sonia Furman, who is representing Crew Class and St. Patrick's Club. She rowed at the Irish Indoor Rowing Championships earlier this year, and she won the lightweight women's 40 to 49 2K race in a time of 8 minutes 0.2 seconds. She also came first at the provincial indoors last year in the 2K and at the Irish Indoor Rowing Championships of 2019. And Sonia also went to the World Championships in Paris earlier this year, and she came 10th in her category there in indoor rowing. Mary Walsh there as well in that category. She's representing Tullahan Bay. Of course, there's a huge contingent there from up in Mayo, so please do send us in. We'd love to see your photos from up there in Mayo, because there seems to be a big group of you. And then Lizzie Gibbon, she also was at the Irish Indoor Rowing Championships earlier this year. She rowed in the women's 43 to 49 category, rowing 1,000 metres in a time of 4 minutes 3.1 seconds, where she finished 4th. So she's well used to competing in the 1K race, so I'm sure she'll be hoping to beat that time now today. Then in the women's 50 to 54 category, we have Sharon and Marie. So we have Sharon, who rows under the guidance of Niall O'Toole, who is a former world rowing champion there. He runs Crew Class. And Marie Kinsella, who is into coastal rowing, and she rows the Slaney Cots, but she's quite new to indoor rowing, so she's trying it out behind closed doors. Now we're into just the last few seconds before the start of this race. So we're getting the rowers to stop rowing so that the flywheels can stop. And just as Marie mentioned there, that she's trying it behind closed doors, that's the great thing about these virtual events. You know, people are sitting at home, they're in the comfort of their own home, they get to do their own kind of routine this morning. So the virtual events are such a great idea. So they're just getting ready to go there now. And they are off. So again, we have 5 categories going at the same time here. And in the women's 43 to 49, we have Lizzie Gibbon is just out ahead of Mary Walsh. In the women's 50 to 54, Marie Kinsella. And in the women's 60 to 64, we have Margot Lawler. So we can see just 4 boats going there now. So there may have been a technical difficulty, and we'll find out that there a little bit later on with the other rowers. But at the moment, it's Lizzie Gibbon out ahead in the 43 to 49 category, pulling a split of 153. She is followed closely by Mary Walsh. Sonia Furman just overtaking her now in first place, followed by Lizzie, followed by Mary. Then in the women's 50 to 54 category, we have Sharon Cullen pulling a nice split there of 204 rating in the mid-30s, followed closely by Marie Kinsella of Edermine Ferry Rowing Club. Then she's after settling into a nice rate. And then in the women's 55 to 59 category, we have Noreen Murphy. And we also have Margot Lawler. So they're all doing really well. So there's just 600 meters left. Sonia out ahead there with a great split of 155 rating in the high 30s. Followed by Lizzie Gibbon just 15 meters behind, with Mary Walsh in third place in that category. She's rating nice in the mid 30s, nice and high. They're just approaching the 500 meter mark left. Then in the women's 50 to 54, we have Sharon Cullen, rating again in 38 strokes a minute, which is phenomenal. Followed by Marie Kinsella. She's just behind her, about 10 meters between them. And then we have Margot Lawler from Kerry. She's a nice rate there, 29 strokes a minute, followed by Noreen Murphy. As they're approaching, Sonia's just after passing 400 meters left. So that's Sonia Foreman, who's representing class and St. Patrick's Club in Dublin. She's after upping her rate. She's now 38.39. She can see the finish line in sight. She's a nice split of 156. She is 23 meters ahead of Lizzie Gibbon, who is just approaching the 300 meter mark left, and followed in third place by Mary Walsh. Then in the women's 50 to 59, we have Sharon Cullen. She's now rating high as well, 38, 39, 40. Followed closely, very closely, down to 9 meters now between her and Marie Kinsella. Then we have Margot Lawler going along nicely there. Her rate is going up. She's in the early 30s with a split of 204, followed closely by Noreen Murphy. Now with just 200 meters left, we have Sonia Furman out ahead, still keeping that split under the 2 minutes, followed by Lizzie Gibbon, followed by Mary Walsh. There's a great race taking place between the women's 50 to 54 category between Sharon and Marie. Sharon Cullen just out ahead, but Marie is only 8 meters behind her. And we are approaching the last 100 meters for most of them. So Sonia is sprinting for the finish line. And Sonia has finished, followed closely by Lizzie. Mary Walsh coming in behind them. In the women's 50 to 54, we have Sharon and Marie. There is nothing between the two of those, just down to 5 meters now between them as they approach the finish line. Can Sharon hang on? I think she can. Followed closely by Marie Kinsella, Margot Lawler, and we have Noreen Murphy and Mary Walsh approaching the finish line. They can see it. It's inside the last 50 meters for Mary Walsh now. That is Noreen Murphy just past the finish line. We have Mary. There's 30 meters left. She's sprinting hard for that finish line. And she is there. Well done to all competitors there. So at the moment, we have unofficial results. We have in the women's 43 to 49 category, we have Sonia Furman, we have Lizzie Gibbon, and we have Mary Walsh. In the women's 50 to 54 category, we have Sharon Cullen, followed very closely by Marie Kinsella. Then we have Noreen Murphy in the women's 55 to 59 category, followed by Margot Lawler in the 60 to 64 category. So well done to all competitors there. Brilliant race. And I know it's hard when there's lots of names up on the screen and they're all in different categories, but that was great going for all of you. So remember, those results are unofficial for 30 minutes. Until such time that any technical difficulties can be solved. So if you have had any difficulties throughout the race, make sure you complete your race, take a picture of your performance monitor when you're finished and send it to vircsupport@rowfit.ie. So I will hand you now back to studio to Tom and to Ryan.
Thanks for that, Niamh. Good bit of racing there. Well done to all crews. Quickly, I'm going to go through the podium for the men's junior 13 results. In first place, we have Dara Gallagher with 849 meters, so well done to him. Then in second place, we had Dara O'Mahony with 799 meters, and then third place was Tiernan Gone with 444 meters. So fair play to him for coming third, 11 years old. So congrats to all crews there. And quickly, we'll kind of go through over the the schedule there for the next race.
So it's just past 10 to 1. So at 1 o'clock we have the men's 43 to 49 category and the men's 50 to 54 category. So this is a big contingent of rowers here. So we've loads of athletes entering this one from all over the country and the United Kingdom as well. So we will go through that in a minute. But for the time being, we will just cut to the treaty ball info bungees and we'll just leave you with that.
Welcome back to treatyball.com. My name is Paul Murray. I'm a sports and physical therapist for almost 20 years. So today I just want to give you a simplistic idea of what treaty ball can do for you. So I'm going to use these bungee cords to represent elastic fibers just like muscle. So as you can see, it's working perfectly here. But if we add in an area which a lot of people have with trigger points and knots in the body, you can see two things happen. The beginning and the end is shortened here and now under pressure. Secondly, the blood flow is restricted in some areas and in this area stopped from getting through. So this inhibits your range of movement and your body has already conditioned you to think that this is your maximum stretch. However, clinically proven, if we apply pressure to the area of the trigger points, it will elicit a fresh and oxygenated blood flow into the area and bringing in the nutrients that need to heal and break down the trigger points that have been restricting you. So if we free it out, it's obvious that we can see the beginning and the end has now resettled to match the rest of the fibers. Also the blood and the lymph flow is clearly getting through. This will increase your range of motion and also give you an opportunity to strengthen out in a more efficient and effective manner. So thank you very much for watching. Please contact www.treatyball.com for more information. Thank you.
So, lovely video there, just brought to you by, just double check, Treaty Ball Info Bungees, and so yeah, upcoming we have the men's 43 to 49 and the men's 50 to 54 1000 meter piece. So we've, as I said earlier, we have a huge number of entries here, and I'll just run through them quickly now for you. We have Alex Pickett from Belfast up in Northern Ireland, and he's in the men's 43 to 49 1000 meters. Then we have Dave Sheehan from Castle Island down in Kerry. We have Roger Bateman from Wicklow Town. We have Sean McManaman from Westport, Nave Mihal Rowing Club, and he says good luck everyone. So a big good luck from Sean McManaman. We've Gareth Whittington, and Gareth's from Dublin. He rows for St Michael's in Dunleary, not St Michael's in Limerick. We won't get those mixed up. And then we have David Mullins from Dublin as well. He's crew class, so he's under the tutorage of Niall O'Toole. Niall is a 3-time Olympian, Irish Olympian. He's a very famous Irish rower. I've rowed with his younger son Ali, and Ali, like his dad, is an incredible oarsman as well. Then we have Michael O'Callaghan, who is supposedly, we heard there, Michael is struggling at the moment to connect. And just to reiterate, if you're struggling to connect, make sure that it's only your computer connected to your PM3, PM4 or PM5 monitor, and you don't have a heart rate or a dongle connected, because that can interfere with the connection. And also, if you're at home with loved ones, friends or family, whoever might be at home, the dog might be using the Wi-Fi, you never know, but just make sure that they're not too many people connected to the Wi-Fi can cause a lot of problems for the connectivity. So just to be sure that, make sure that you're the only one, if possible. That's the ideal scenario. Just make sure not too many people are using the Wi-Fi at once. But Michael was using a company laptop, and there's firewall problems, so just make sure that you have everything set up the day before, because this is the first of a 3-part series. So Michael is from Shannon Rowing Club in Limerick, and he's good friends with a man called Kenny MacDonald. Kenny Mac, he just climbed Carron Tool with an erg on his back. So if you thought rowing on an erg was hard enough, try climb a mountain with one and then do a piece at the top. We have Owen Higgins then from Galway Rowing Club. He's a novice rower, recently back on the water after a 30-year absence. So that's incredible stuff from Owen Higgins. James McMurty from Ballycotton, the 8 oarsmen of the Apocalypse. James is a member of that squad there, and they're rowing. There's 8 lads just rowing all around the world. Again, highlights the beauty of indoor rowing. He's a record holder. He's numerous Irish records. We've Brian Gilmore from Greystones. Then we have John O'Driscoll from Dublin. He's in crew class as well. Niall O'Toole. We have Ronan Green from St. Pat's Rowing and Tug of War Club. He's rowing 18 months and he's very happy with his progress, which is brilliant stuff. We love to hear of new people joining the sport and getting on really well. And then to cap it all off, we have Alan Merrick from France, and he's crew class as well. So he started rowing during lockdown. This is his first race, so best of luck. Best of luck to all competitors, but it's particularly difficult when it's your first race, so hopefully it all goes well for you, Alan. And that is the men's 43 to 49 and men's 50 to 54 category. Huge entry here, very surprising. It's brilliant. Brilliant to see so many crews, especially so early. September isn't usually the time that ergs are used. It's brilliant to see so many people getting involved in this,
showing their benefits of COVID. I hope with training at home and taking good advantage of it and getting some fitness and good time to get a bit of competition going and friendly competition, more to say, but. Good to see such a good variety and a good array of people from all over the country ready to compete against fellow men their age. So it's good to see. Hopefully good racing now.
Yeah, definitely. When is the perfect time for you to start back on the rowing machine? I know September and early October, a lot of people want to use the good weather we have. It's a beautiful day today. They want to use that. Like we were rowing this morning. You make the most of the water when you have it, because the winter can be hit and miss with the weather. But when would you start getting back on the erg?
I tend not to kind of lose touch with it every once in a while. You kind of if you let it slip for a couple of weeks, you feel it next time you get back on. So it's kind of a thing you kind of have to keep consistent, and I think you'll notice it with your training and fitness that if you keep consistent, it's a lot easier to maintain and manage. But now's a good time to get back rowing and to get back into the swing of things before the harsh winter hits and you have to be on the erg for a while. But it's good to see a great group of men getting back onto the sport, and we should see the benefits of it now in this next race.
Definitely. Anywhere between a 3-minute 1,000 metre piece and a 4-minute 1,000 metre piece would be incredible. We have some Irish records. The Irish record for, we'll say, 40 to 49 for heavyweight men is 3 minutes. 250, and then Kenny MacDonald, as I mentioned earlier, is 3 minutes for the lightweight men. For the heavyweight women, it would be about 3:31, and for lightweight women, it would be about 3:39. So anywhere between 250 and 4 minutes is an incredible time for a 1,000 metre piece. Do you expect to see any records broken today?
I hope so.
Yeah, definitely.
It'll be great to see. It's all down to these men to see if they can stick it out and hang on to that pace. It's very competitive, and I know Kenny personally. He's some man for the machine, and he's gonna be a hard man to beat if anyone wants to give it a go. I'd love to see it here today, but best of luck to them, and let's see what they have in store for us.
James McMurthy is in this race, and he is the record holder. I just noticed it there for the 50 to 59 category for the 1,000 metre heavyweight men. He has a time of 3:03.4. So if anybody would like to take on James today, first of all you'll have to beat him in the race, and then you'll have to watch. Exactly, you'll have to beat his time. So that's incredible. So it is.
He'll be the good pace setter now, and you'll probably see him now in the monitors in front of you. He'll be probably the head man blasting out the blocks off the start. So keep up with him, and you're doing something right anyways.
Definitely. So we're just into the final minute now before the race. Settling down, getting ready. Alan Merrick flying the flag for France in this race. What can he do? Can he take James early in the same category, in the men's 50 to 54 category? As you can see again, if you're watching at home on the YouTube live stream, wherever you're watching this, you can see the colour difference. So we have the men's 43 to 49 in yellow and the men's 50 to 54 in red. This should be an incredible race. Any race with a record holder in it is going to be quite tough. So all the crews now, all the athletes will be sitting ready, just waiting for the starters' orders, waiting to see the row sign on their monitor. So please keep following the instructions on the screen. We have a connectivity issue at the moment. The race will be starting very shortly. We're still on time, we're very much on schedule, so there's no hassle at all.
Feel free to keep warming up until the monitors stop rowing. get on the last few sips of water and shake out the hands and get ready for a good hard race. But just follow the screen in front and everything will go okay.
So again, best of luck to all crews. It's fantastic to see so many people racing today. If you need any extra info, don't be afraid to visit www.iirc.ie/VIRC. So that is www.iirc.ie/VIRC for any extra info that you may need. So we're going to get going here now. As the flywheels come to a stop. All the athletes nervously waiting. Attention. And we're off. Brilliant stuff. Off again with no hitches or anything. So we've Alex Pickett out to a very, very early lead. Rating 52. He's the rate through the roof. And he's coming down at 125. Not much in it at all between the others. We've Dave Sheehan here in second place, rating 34, holding 127. So Dave and Alex are both holding similar splits, but there's quite the difference between their rates. Sean McMenamin in third place. Roger Bateman coming in fourth. There's a fine battle, ding-dong battle going on here in the men's 50 to 54 category.
I think Dave Sheehan's strided that a little bit sooner than Alex and has gone to his pace earlier, and it's showing now as he overtakes Alex Pickett. He's really settled into a nice stride that looks more sustainable than Alex Pickett, but it looks like Alex is now settling into his own rhythm and getting into his own run. So it's a good race so far. There's Sean McMahon and Roger Bateman tying for third and fourth here as they're really pressing on their category.
James McMurty here, rating 31. Before the race, we put quite the spotlight on James McMurty. He's coming down at 132, which is on track with his record pace of 3:03.4. So a 132 split would be well within that. It'd be well within his grasp today, as we just come up to halfway now. 500 meters gone and 500 meters to go. As we've talked about it in previous races, they're really starting to feel it now. The pain is definitely set in. We've Dave Sheehan out in front, and there's 13 meters between Dave and second place, who is Alex Pickett, cruising down the course at a rate of 37, holding 133. Roger Bateman in third, and Gareth Whittington coming in fourth. He's just after leapfrogging Sean McMenamin. Then in the men's 50 to 54 category, James McMurty is well out in front with a 20 metre lead, rating 32. It's quite a low rate for that incredible split.
It is,
whereas other rowers are up at 35, 36.
He seems to be a man of experience and he knows what he's doing, and he's still sitting on his record pace. So if he's this relaxed and this comfortable at rate 32, holding the score, there's something for him to go towards the end. Now in the last 250, I'd like to see that rate come up and hopefully take on his own record, and
definitely.
Good going.
We've Alan Merrick coming in there. It's his first race, as he said, first race this weekend. He's pushing very, very hard, rating 31, holding 153, an incredible showing for his first race. It's brilliant that he started rowing during lockdown. You can come to this sport at any age. It's very, very facilitating. So just to bring you back up, we're coming into the last 100 metres now. We've a very close race between Dave Sheehan and Alex Pickett. 7 metres between the two. You really need to, you'd want to be full stride now at this stage. You'd want to be really going for the line. Splits are neck and neck, 139, 140.
Ray climbing up now, and Alex Pickett making a push back on Dave Sheehan, dropping a few metres back up on him. I'll come to the last few strokes, and unofficially Dave Sheehan takes the line first, ahead of Alex Pickett for the men's category of 40 to 43. 40 to 49, and then James McMurty was the winner of his category with a 131.9, with a 303.8, which was just off his record pace by 0.4 per second, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah, 0.4.
Good run by James there, but just shy. Hopefully we can get you next time around and see if you can smash that record. But
it looks rather comfortable. Obviously, we can't see how he looks on the earth, but rating 31, holding 131.
I'm sure he was short of breath towards the end now, but
incredible
very
stuff.
manageable for him.
As Alan Merrick just comes in there at a pace of 1:51 of his first race, incredible stuff.
Well done to all crews.
So,
it's great racing.
Just to reiterate, these results they're unofficial. We'll have the official results out in the next 30 minutes, but unofficially we will say in the men's 43 to 49 category, David Sheehan came in first place in a time of 3:03.6. Second place, Alex Pickett, 3:05.0. Third place, David Mullins, 3:16.7. Fourth place, we have Roger Bateman, 3 minutes 16 seconds, 0.9. Fifth place, Garrett Whittington, 3:19.1. Owen Higgins coming in sixth place, 3 minutes 26 seconds. Sean McMenamin coming in seventh. Incredible stuff by all crews. So we're just going to cut now to a video of Philip Doyle talking about his Irish rowing record.
Of course, you set an Irish record in the half marathon a few weeks ago, 1 hour 10 minutes 30.5 seconds. Like, would you have been able to do those things if you weren't in lockdown?
I don't think I would have attempted them, as in I would have been too busy trying to go through the training program and do the pieces that were a part of the training program. So I think having that little bit of freedom with some sessions, although that session was scheduled in that day, that was actually a bit of a strange day because I was in actually doing a 8 a.m. to 9 p.m. shift in work that day. I had been on all weekend. It was like the end of like a 70-something hour week, and I had seen the girls, Afra Kyo and Sunita, had broken the world record in like each of their age categories. And I sort of then seeing that in work, I was like, you know what, whenever I go back, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to try and go for, I actually attempted the world record, but very swiftly gave up on that idea about 14 minutes in when the lactate was about to pull me apart. But I think whenever I seen what they did, I was like, I'm not going to be left out here. So I know that they're working hard. And whenever I get home, that was my motivation, knowing that what they had done. So I was like, if they're able to push themselves, then why can't I? So that was probably one of the best days for like being motivated by those people who you train with, because I seen what they did, and then I was like, you know what, I'm gonna have a pop at that too. And I settled for a British and an Irish record, but I don't know if I would attempt the world one again, because 21,000 meters is just 20,000 meters too far.
So we're just going to bring you race result there of the men's junior 15 1,000 meter piece. We have Olan Bradley coming in first place. He came in a time of 3 minutes 17 seconds, and which is an incredible time. But he also has he's shown pedigree in the past. He has a record, an Irish record, in the men's 13 to 14 category. He pulled a time of 3:18, so he's clearly improving. He improved that time by one split, or by a second, which is incredible. Even to have any Irish record of any kind, it's just brilliant. So Olan there in the men's junior 15 1,000 meter piece. I certainly wasn't pulling those times when I was junior 15. I can tell you that.
Was either, to be honest. No, I wasn't a very big guy for men's J15, so fair play to Olan for pulling such a good time, and of course having the record for the 13 to 14, which would hopefully stay for him for a few years to hang on to. But I'm sure it'd be a goal for a lot of young Irishmen coming up in that category to try and beat his time.
And who knows, in the next 2 months, between now and October 24th and then November 21st, in the next two races of this 3-part series, he may knock down a couple of seconds. He's chasing down Fiacre Barrett in the men's 15 to 16 1,000 meter piece. Fiacre pulled a time of 3:05.6, which is an incredible 1,000 meter piece. Yeah. So Olan An incredible race by Olan. We're going to bring you another race result. The men's junior 16 1,000 metre piece. Micheál Cormac came in first place in a time of 3 minutes 13 seconds 0.3, which is again an incredible time. Olan has another 2 months to perfect his craft. He may be also gunning for the 15 to 16 year old category in the 1,000 metre piece, chasing again Fee Cribart with a time of 3:05, which is an incredible time. Again, 15, 16, I was still a mile off that pace, so I was.
Yeah, definitely. So was I, and sure, you'd be surprised how much faster, how much fitter you can get with just a few more weeks on the erg, and bit of consistency and determination, and bit of ignorance and a bit of brute force are gonna really get you a long way in a sprint piece like 1,000 meters. So hopefully they can grit their teeth for the next 2 parts of the series, and
6 weeks hard training.
Yeah,
you know,
definitely a lot of intervals, a lot of speed
belief
training,
in yourself.
and
Definitely.
Yeah, a few less Mars bars, and
one gums. I wouldn't recommend them now.
We'd be away. So it's good stuff.
One more race result to bring you. The women's junior 15 1,000 metre piece. So here we have 3 rowers: Anne O'Mahony, Leah Gaughan and Anna Davis. So Anna O'Mahony came in first place here with a time of 3:52.3. We have Leah Gaughan coming in on the time of 4 minutes 7 seconds 0.8, and then we have third place Anna Davis with a time of 4:10.2. Incredible by the 3 girls there. Incredible time.
Great racing off the girls, especially. Anna O'Mahony absolutely smashing the 4 minute marker with a 3:52. Fair play to all the girls who raced, and hopefully we'll see them all again now trying to beat those times in the next part.
So we're just going to hand it back over to Niamh now. She's going to go through the next race with you. So enjoy. Over to you, Niamh.
Thank you so much, Tom and Ryan. So we are on to race 8 of the day. The day is flying by, and we have 3 categories. So we have the men's 27 to 33, we have the men's open, and we have the men's junior 18. So in the men's 27 to 33, we have 3 competitors. We have Conor Cassidy. He's representing D12 CrossFit there in Dublin, and he says this is his first ever rowing race, and he is very much looking forward to it. So next up then we have Maurice Sheehy, and the third competitor in that category is Tony Byrne, who is representing St. Patrick's Toe Rowing Club, who are based up in Newry. Then in the men's open category we have 2 competitors. We have David Duggan of Kilmac-Simon, and we have Ross Duffy from Newry Rowing Club and Globe Rowing Club. And in the men's junior 18 we have David Foley, who is representing St. Michael's. We have Thomas Davis, who is representing St. Mary's CBS in Wexford, and we have Christopher Kemp, who is also representing St. Michael's in Limerick. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we have 8 competitors lining up in these 3 categories, and we have just about 1 minute left to go to the race. And lots of these rowers already have competed in indoor rowing events. I see there that Tony Byrne, who's in the 27 to 33 category, he was at the Irish Indoors this year, and he came 3rd in the 1,000 metres, rowing it in 3 minutes 10.7 seconds. So we'll see how he gets on today compared to that. David Duggan there in the men's open as well. He is no stranger to indoor rowing, and he won his category at the Irish Indoors this year as well, rowing 1,000 metres in 2 minutes 59.9 seconds, just breaking that 3 minute mark. So we'll see how he does there. And he also has been to the World Indoor Rowing Championships over the last 3 years. Ross Duffy then, he's representing 2 clubs, Newry Rowing Club and Globe Rowing Club in London. And then the 3 guys in the men's junior 18, they've all competed at indoor rowing events. They were all at the Irish Indoor Rowing Championships earlier this year. And in the 1,000 metre race, Thomas Davis finished 3rd in a time of 3:24.3. So we'll see how he does compared to that now today. And then David Foley, he rowed the 2,000 metre race, coming 15th out of a total of 89 competitors. And Christopher Kemp there, he finished 41st out of, again, 89 competitors. So we'll see now how they all get on compared to those times that they've all pulled already. So we are getting close. We're into the last minute before the start of the race. And again, if you are watching at home, you'll see the different colours on your screen, which represent the 3 different categories. So the men's 27 to 33, they are in yellow, so you have 3 competitors there. The men's open are red, where you have 2 competitors, and the men's junior 18 are the green, and there is 3 competitors in that. So we're just waiting, just some technical difficulties there, but they're all gearing up for the start of this race. Again, it's a 1,000 meter race. We'll see if anyone can break that 3-minute mark today. So we should be starting in the next minute or so. Again, if you do have any technical difficulties at home, make sure you keep rowing, just keep rowing, finish your race, and once you're done, take a picture of that screen of your performance monitor and send it to VIRC support@rowfit.ie, and we'll get your results in. So sorry again about the delay. We should be with you any moment now. I just see there are a last few minute changes there coming in for that race. So the race should be ready to go any second now. So again, I'll just run through the 3 categories that we have. We have the men's 27 to 33. We have Conor Cassidy from D12 CrossFit, and you'll notice that there's quite a few CrossFitters that have taken up indoor rowing and seem to love it, and they seem to go to all the indoor rowing competitions and do really well. Then we have Maurice Sheehy, and we have Tony Byrne. Tony Byrne there representing St. Patrick's Toe Rowing Club. And I love the name of that rowing club. TOW stands for Tug of War. So they started as a tug of war club and since have gone into rowing and boxing. And then in the men's open, we have David Duggan from Kilmac Simon Rowing Club down in Cork. And we have Ross Duffy, who is representing Newry Rowing Club and Globe Rowing Club. And then in the men's junior 18, we have Christopher Kemp, who is representing St. Michael's Rowing Club there in Limerick. We have Thomas Davis, who's representing St. Mary's CBS in Enniscorthy in Wexford. And we have David Foley, who's representing St. Michael's Rowing Club in Limerick there as well. So apologies again about the delay. So we're going to get all competitors to stop rowing. Place your handles down so that the flywheel can come to a stop. Getting all competitors to stop rowing now. They're sitting ready. And there was a false start, so another slight delay in this race. One rower was a bit eager and took off just slightly ahead of the buzzer, so they are to stop rowing again. All flywheels are coming to a stop now again. These rowers will be wrecked by the time this race starts. So they're just stopping They're sitting ready. And we are off. So this race is finally underway, and we have 3 categories going on at the same time. We have the men's 27, 33, the men's open, and the men's junior 18. And you can see there David Duggan in the men's open just has a lead over his competitor Ross Duffy. In the men's 27 to 33, we have Conor Cassidy flying out there with a stroke rate of 39, followed by Maurice Sheehy and Byrne. And then in the men's junior 18, you have Thomas Davis out ahead, followed by David Foley and Christopher Kemp. But there in the men's 27 to 33, you have Conor Cassidy rowing at a rate of 37, 38 strokes a minute with a split of about 128. Maurice Sheehy just behind him, just 4 meters behind him, followed by Tony Byrne. Then in the men's open, you have David Duggan holding a steady lead over Ross Duffy. They're both rating around 131 and 132. And then in the men's junior 18, you have Thomas Davis still out ahead. David Foley just about 4 meters behind him, followed by Christopher Kemp with a great split there and stroke rate of 36, 37. So we've just 600 meters left in this race. Conor Cassidy still pulling out ahead, still rating very high at this stage in the race, 37 strokes a minute, followed by Maurice Sheehy and Tony Byrne. David Duggan there still hanging on to the lead in the men's open, rating around 32. He's nice and settled now with a rate of 134. Ross Duffy there just 10 meters behind him, and now David Foley is actually taking the lead in the men's junior 18. He's now 5 meters ahead of Thomas Davis, followed by Christopher Kemp. And as they approach the 400-meter mark, Conor Cassidy is out ahead. He is rating 37 strokes a minute, split 129. This is phenomenal rowing by all of them. He is ahead of Maurice Sheehy and Tony Byrne. Tony Byrne rating there at about 40 with about 350 meters to go. In the men's open, David Duggan is still hanging on there in the lead. Ross Duffy just 10 meters behind him. Ross seems to be closing in the gap there. And in the men's junior 18, you have David Foley out ahead of Thomas Davis and Christopher Kemp just behind him. We are now approaching the 200-meter mark. Conor Cassidy there with a phenomenal split, keeping it under the 130. He's about 128, 129, rating 36 strokes a minute, out ahead of Maurice Sheehy, who is ahead of Tony Byrne. In the men's open, it still looks like David Duggan is hanging on to that first place spot. Ross Duffy there just 10 meters behind him as they're into the last 100 meters. Conor Cassidy is upping his rate. He's in the high 30s, keeping that split below 130 still, followed by Maurice, followed by Tony. David still hanging on to the men's open title there, followed by Ross Duffy. And in the junior 18s, you have David Foley ahead. That is Conor Cassidy finished in first place. Maurice is crossing the line. David in the men's open, followed by Ross Duffy. You have David Foley of the men's junior 18 is just coming to the finish line, followed by Tony Byrne in the men's 27 to 33, and Christopher Kemp and Thomas Davis there in the men's junior 18. So well done to all competitors there. A massive race there by everyone. And Conor Cassidy there in the men's 27 to 33, breaking that 3-minute mark. He got 2:57.2. Maurice Sheehy then in second place there with 3 minutes, 1.7 seconds. Tony Byrne coming in third in 3 minutes, 16.9. In the men's open, you have David Duggan, 3 minutes, 3.8 seconds, followed by Ross Duffy with 3 minutes, 5.9 seconds. And in the men's junior 18, David Foley, 3 minutes, 12.3 seconds, Christopher Kemp, 3:17.3, and Thomas Davis with 3:18.3. A massive well done to all of you. And as you know, those results are unofficial for the next 30 minutes, just in case there was any technical difficulties. So if there was any difficulties, make sure you take a picture of your performance monitor and send it into VIRC support@ROWfit.ie. But a huge well done there in a very competitive field. So I will hand you now back to the team, to Tom, to Ryan.
Perfect. Thanks very much for that, Niamh. Up next now, we're going to give you some results. We have a podium here for the men's 55 to 59 category for the 1,000 meter piece. In first place, we've Stan Nwaka in a brilliant time of 3:16.8. Second place, we've Chris Pym. the free agent, the Leinster rugby player, the ex-Leinster rugby player, with a time of 3:16.9, 0.1 between Stan and Chris. That's incredible racing. And then further back, well, not further back, literally just behind them, we have Sean Callahan in a time of 3:18.1. That's an incredible podium.
It really is.
So it is 2 seconds, not even 2 seconds, separating all three competitors.
Fantastic racing for all competitors in that age category, and some really impressive times coming up there.
That's what we love to see. Just nail biting, absolutely nail biting.
Yeah.
So Stan again, just to reiterate, Stan coming in first place. Stan Nowaka, time of 3:16.8. Second place, Chris Payton, 3:16.9, 0.1 of a second between the two. And then third place, Sean Callahan, 3:18.1. To round off the men's 55-59 1,000 metre piece.
And next up we have a video from Sanisha of importance of mental well-being, and if you can cue that and enjoy the video.
When we think of sport, we always think of the physical element and the actual exercise part and the movement and the food and the nutrition and the sleep and things. But how important is it to look after your mental health? You mentioned that there, that's a huge part of the sport. And you mentioned about how you have access to psychologists and things. So how important is mental health and coming up, especially to race time and things, being in the right headspace? How important is that to you as an athlete?
It's very important. Yeah, I think your mental well-being needs to develop the same way as your physical abilities. Yeah, and I think it is important to be happy when you're an athlete and enjoy things, even though they're not always enjoyable. For me, it was very beneficial to work with psychologists and to figure out, let's say, what do I do when this happens, or what do I do when that happens? And it's all quite simple, and some people could manage that without any help. But some people just can't. They need a bit of a guidance and advice. Like, I've had times when I hated what I was doing, and it wasn't helpful, and I also wasn't performing just because of it. So I had to kind of find the reasons why I was hating it, why I was suddenly hating something that I used to love. It's not always just black and white. There's a little bit more to it. I suppose if people are struggling mentally, not enjoying it, or some other reasons, they definitely should find somebody to talk to. Sometimes even talking to a teammate can be as good as talking to a psychologist, just not holding it all in and stuff. So I think happy athletes definitely perform better. I would think so.
Perfect. That was a lovely video by Sunita talking about the importance of mental well-being. Your mental health is definitely your mental wealth, especially in times like this. We're going to bring you another race result, the men's 60-64 1,000 metre piece. We have Oliver Short here coming in first place with a time of 4:06.8. So Oliver was the sole competitor in this event, the men's 60-64 category, but nonetheless an incredible time of 4 minutes 6 seconds 0.8. Incredible stuff by Oliver Short. I certainly hope when I'm in that category I'll still be able to push out times like that. That's incredible going.
It is really good times.
It's fantastic.
And, all credit to them, and the training that they're putting in on a weekly basis is really paying off, and I'm sure they'll be giving us good scores to come now in the next part 2 and part 3 of this 3-part rowing series.
Definitely. So do you want to take this?
And for the last of that men's race was the men's 65-69 1,000 metre, and that was a win for Julian Kennedy, who did have difficulty with his connection, but did upload his time to VIRC support at ROWfit.ie, and he produced a really good time of 3 minutes and 52 seconds 0.2. So congratulations to Julian for that, and really well done, and thank you for submitting your time and for racing through the difficult conditions and giving us a race.
It just shows you how flexible we are. Julian obviously ran into technical difficulties, and on the day nobody wants that, but when you do, he just pushed through it. He had faith in our abilities, and he sent in his picture. Joe, Ivan and Brian all sorted it all out, and here he is at the top of the podium in the men's 65-69 category. So we're coming nicely now. We're pushing throughout the day. 1:30 now. We're coming to the end of our, we've two races to go, but in the next race in the next 5 minutes, we'll say. We have the women's 27 to 33. We have the women's 34 to 42, and we also have the women's junior 18 1,000 meter pieces coming up. So there's another large entry, which is brilliant to see. We have Carol McCarthy from Galliflash Rowing Club. So our co-commentator Niamh from Galliflash Rowing Club, she'll probably know Carol McCarthy, and she'll be giving her a fist bump and a cheer at a distance, of course. Make sure you're 2 meters apart at all time. Next up, we've Harriet Burgess. She's from crew class, another one of under the tutorage of Niall O'Toole. We have Kim Flood, crew class as well. We have Amanda Golasarian from the United States, Westchester. We also have Kathleen McGonigal from Kincastle Rowing Club. Next up then we have Tanya Clifford from Cork. We have Kathleen Ducey from Tullahan Bay Rowing Club, a huge Tullahan Bay representation today. She's a big figure in Tullahan Bay, so she would be very influential. And she is rowing in the women's 34 to 42 1,000 metre piece. After Kathleen, we have Afric O'Sullivan, and she's also a member of crew class up in Dublin. We have Ciara Conway rowing for St. Pat's Tug of War Club in the women's 34 to 42 category. She's from Newry. We've Tara Ducey. I wonder is she any relation to Kathleen? They're both from Mayo and they're both from Tullahan Bay, so I would say so. In the women's junior 18 1,000 metre piece, she's the power behind Tullahan Bay Rowing Club. We have Amy Carey then to wrap off from Mayo. So if all competitors could stop rowing now, we'll get going with the racing. So just to reiterate, women's 27 to 33, women's 34 to 42, and women's junior 18 1,000 metre pieces coming up now. Again, nerves settling in. Looking forward, second last race of the day. Incredible racing so far.
Brilliant. Really good stuff out of all the athletes, and again, all credit to them for giving up their morning's line to warm up and get ready, and to give us some good scores and some good racing, and a good weekend entertainment for
definitely
for ours.
For all those watching on. Everyone's due a nice nap after this. Well-deserved nap.
Yeah. Plenty of food and plenty of water, and then good sleep.
A little sleep to finish out the day,
Yeah.
definitely. So again, widespread here. We have anywhere, but we've ladies from aging between 18 and 42. Just shows you the power of indoor rowing. Like, you don't have, like, we can run multiple races.
That's the men though. Generating. Or you mean that's on the old?
Just running into some technical difficulties here. We'll be back in 2 minutes. If you're looking for records or anything, if you feel like you've pumped out a really, really good time, you can check the records at concept2.co.uk. If you're looking for any info on today's races or the upcoming races in the series, this, again, I've said it before, this is a 3-part series, the first of the virtual indoor rowing race series. We also have another race on the 24th of October, and then after that we have the 21st of November. If you're looking for more information on those races upcoming in later in October and then in November, you can go to www.iirc.ie/VIRC for more information. Any information you need is up there. If you're having technical difficulties with your erg, make sure you take a photo of your performance monitor after your piece. Continue rowing, don't stop, don't worry about it. Take a photo of your time, send it in to vircsupport@rowfit.ie. That's vircsupport@rowfit.ie, and we will take care of the rest. And we'll have the results verified in 30 minutes afterwards. So just coming towards the end of the day, is there one race in particular that stood out for you?
I think it was with the men's group there with Stan Nowaka and Chris Pym with the 0.1 of a second difference was something else. I think it was
incredible racing.
Tough to see for Chris. Obviously, I'm sure he was a bit disappointed with just coming shy with the 0.1, but I can't blame him for putting in the effort and really giving us a good race and pushing it right to the line and not giving up and not cracking under the pressure Stan was putting down with the last sprint finish. And as we're coming up to the next race, if you could follow the instructions on the screen in front of you, it's the top rowing, and we'll get ready to go. Best of luck to all competitors.
Attention. And we're off. No false starts here. With Kathleen Ducey straight out into the lead in her category. With Carl McCarthy rowing out to a strong lead in her category as well. Very close amongst all three categories. There's no one clear leader so far. Less than 7 meters separate each category. It's incredible rowing. Again, we can see if you look along the right hand side, you'll be able to see on the live stream we're showing the rate and the split. We've the ladies here rating anywhere between 28 and 40, which is incredible going, and the splits are just nice and consistent. There's nobody going off far too strong, but there's nobody going off at a pace that might be a little bit too weak. So in the women's 27 to 33 category, we have Amanda Golsarian all the way from the US of A, and she's leading now at the moment with a split of 143. So that's incredible rowing, and a rate of 35. So she's keeping a nice consistent flow and rhythm.
She's tried it out now, and she's in a mid-race pace, and it's very impressive to see such a good split. And she's going to be a good competitor now if she can hold this pace. And
tough to beat.
Very tough to beat. And we have Amy Carey here from where is she?
Amy Carey is from Mayo.
Sorry, thank you. Mayo leading the charge now, and she's at rate 32, holding a nice 150 split, very consistent, and really leading the charge on Tara Ducey.
It'd be interesting to see now between Tara and Kathleen Ducey. Kathleen is a big figure in Tullahan Bay, and then Tara apparently is the power behind the club. So who's going to have the bragging rights this evening?
Well, at the moment, Tara's at a 2-minute split and Kathleen's at a 2:05, so there's not much separating them, but
no, nothing
bit
at
of
all.
a difference. So see if Kathleen can push back, and no, it's a good bit of race, especially for Emma Gaughan here and Ciara Conway. There's 1 meter between the two, and they're really pushing on. Ciara really taking the charge, being pushed back by Emma the whole time here.
So we're just over halfway now. The pain in their lungs, they're pushing out air and they're taking as much oxygen in as possible, but they're really starting to feel it now with 400 meters to go. You'd want to be starting to think about going for home here. You don't want to leave it much longer than this.
No, not
especially if you say for Amanda now. Amanda's pushing out strong, but Harriet could make a difference in the last 400 meters, but she would have to go now, would you say?
She would, yes, and she really has to keep the pedal on. Amanda does for the last 200 meters now coming up, and really empty the tank and push on, because she's slowly creeping back on the splits. And let's see if she can push back to the 150, because she's starting to see 155 and 156, but if she can keep the pedal down, I'm sure she can take a nice win here.
Definitely. We have a brilliant battle going on here in the women's 34 to 42 category. There's no more than 16 meters separating the 5 crews even. We've Ciara Conway out in the lead, leading by 9 meters over Kathleen McGonigal. Then we have Tanya Clifford 13 meters ahead. Emma Gaughan is 16 meters behind then. All 4 ladies in that race rating above 32, which just shows the pedigree, the competitiveness amongst those 4 competitors. And then we have Kathleen Ducey, just a small bit off the pace, but she's still pushing out hard. She's rating 39. She's going for the line here. 2:01. Her split is coming down nicely. Incredible pedigree shown by all athletes. So we're just coming up to the 100 meter to go mark. You're leaving no stone left unturned here. You're giving it your all.
You're firing all cylinders, really going for the last 10 strokes and making every little inch count. Staying with the length, staying with the high rate, and trying to get that number as low as you can.
Incredible racing. Amy Carey coming in there.
It's a 3:38.
3:38 on official time. Yeah. Brilliant stuff. And Amanda Golsarian.
Only beating Amanda by a second, but they are in different categories. But I'm sure they'll be racing each other and watching those times and trying to take the category wins.
Comparing all the categories, most certainly. As we just come towards the end here now, we have Kathleen pushing for the line. incredible stuff by all athletes.
Well done.
Harriet Burgess just coming in now. Brilliant stuff. So unofficially, we have Amanda Gulsarian winning the women's 27 to 33 category. We have Amy Carey winning the women's junior 18 category, and then we have Kira Conway winning the women's junior 30 or women's 34 to 42 category. Unofficially, of course, these results will be verified in the next 30 minutes. But for the time being, we have Amanda, Amy, and Kira taking their respective categories. Incredible racing by all crews. So it is. What are we looking forward to next, Ryan? What's coming up in the schedule?
On the schedule will be the last race of the day, I believe, isn't it?
Brilliant stuff.
And that'd be the men's 34 to 39,000 meters. And it should be a really good race to watch. Oh, it's actually more than that, isn't it? Men's 34 to 42. And there's a really long list of entries there, all around the country, primarily a lot from Dublin actually, and hopefully we get some good racing out of them for the final race to really
definitely. So we're just going to go to a clip of Paul O'Donovan and his advice to young rowers. So if we could just see that video now.
So what advice would you tell younger rowers, and the fact that it is so popular and people are competing for seats, and how do you make yourself stand out? What advice would you give to younger rowers?
Yeah, good question. I suppose there's no panic really, to be honest. I think like that you'd be kind of mad to, I don't know, just have as much success as you can, but really it's kind of the long-term game is the most important one. So whatever you think you got to do to make it to the top long-term, but I'd say just try and find some part of it that you enjoy, whether that's the hard training or the hanging out with your friends. And I think sometimes the more your friends that are involved in it too, that can make it more fun. But I think also, like, as you're getting older, to kind of do as much training as you want to do. If you want to do more training than you're allowed, you should ask, can I do more training? Whereas I think I was probably in my earlier years a little bit afraid of doing that there was kind of, at a certain age you can only do a set amount of training, and I probably would have liked to have done more. I enjoyed doing lots of training, but maybe kind of looking back then, that because I wasn't doing as much as I liked to, I was always kind of motivated to do more then when I was allowed, and it was kind of a stepped progression then with the training and that. So I kind of do as much training as you want, and have your friends there as well to enjoy it. And it's not all about the winning medals either. For me, when I look back on my rowing career, I think you'll think more about the times that you weren't racing and winning medals, and just the adventures that you'd get up to with your friends, like whether it's just arguing with each other in the boathouse there when you're 12 years of age and breaking things, or just when you'd be kind of driving to regattas and kind of touring the world then, or whatever you end up doing, and you make some great friends in it too, and they kind of stick with you for most of your life, it seems. So it's a good opportunity for that too. So kind of enjoy the bits around the rowing as well as the training in it too.
So that was a beautiful video there by Paul. We're just going to give you some more results. We have another podium coming your way. We have the women's 43 to 49 category in the 1,000 meter piece. First place, we have Sonia Furman with a time of 3:50.5. Second place, we have Lizzie Gibbon with a time of 3:56. And third place, we have Mary Walsh with a time of 4:38.7. So that's, again, incredible racing by the three ladies and the other competitors in that category. Just to confirm with you, Sonia Furman, Lizzie Gibbon, Mary Walsh. Sonia came in with a time of 3:50.5. Then we had Lizzie Gibbon, who came in with 3:56, and Mary Walsh then in third place to cap off the podium with a time of 4:38.7. So fantastic racing by the three competitors. Be interesting to see will Lizzie Gibbon and Mary Walsh, will they be able to take down Sonia in the next two events? That's the target.
Lizzie is not far off.
No,
Sonia, to be honest. She's
6 seconds.
6 seconds. That's a second a week, and she can.
There you go.
She'll have her by the last.
By November,
one.
you have her.
Yeah.
So then we have another podium for you. We have the women's 50 to 54 category in the 1,000 meter piece. First place we have Sharon Cullen with a time of 4:06. Again, another very close race. Second place was Marie Kinsella with a time of 4:08.3. 2 seconds between less than 1.2 seconds, 1.4 seconds. Pardon me, between each crew. So that's Sharon Cullen with a time of 4 minutes 6 seconds, and Marie Kinsella with a time of 4 minutes 8 seconds. Again, 6 weeks time between now and November 21st with the provincial indoor rowing championships.
Nothing between them.
2 seconds. That's you could take that down in a week. Could you? 2 weeks?
Yeah, it depends on the training, but they could definitely do it, and hopefully we can get some more competition for them to fill out the podium and make them push on for the next event.
No, certainly. So we have another podium as well. We have the women's 55 to 59 category. In 1,000 meters, first place Margot Lawler pulled 4 minutes 9 seconds, and then second place we have Noreen Murphy in a time of 4:25. So again, we have Margot Lawler 4 minutes 9 seconds, and then second place Noreen Murphy with 4 minutes 25 seconds. Quite a difference there, but first day out, first race of the season.
Set the benchmark.
Yeah, exactly. Just set yourself a time and then chip away at it. You never know, it could be Noreen number 1 the next day, and then we have Margaret afterwards. And that was for the women's 55 to 59 category.
So what's the next race, Tom? What do we have going?
I think we might have one more podium, but the next race after that, the last race of the day, is a mix between men's 34 to 42 category. It's one of the only races of the day where there's only one single category, which is the men's 34 to 42 1,000 meter piece. We've one more podium to bring you. We have the women's 65 to 69 category. In the 1,000 meter piece, Jean O'Gorman pulled a time of 3 minutes 23 seconds. Is it Jean or Jean? Would you reckon? Jean, that's the French coming out of me now. Would you reckon it's Jean?
I'd say it's Jean.
Jean? Are we going with Jean?
I have a good feeling it's Jean O'Gorman.
So Jean O'Gorman with 3 minutes 23 seconds. That's an incredible time for 1,000 meters for the women's 65 to 69 category.
Well done to all those competitors and podium makers there. And as we get ready for the last race, and hopefully be exciting to watch.
Yeah. So that is the men's. So we're just going to pass it over to Niamh Hayes. She's going to take the last race of the day. So over to you, Niamh. Enjoy.
Thank you so much, Tom and Ryan. So yes, as you heard, we're on to the last race of the day, which I can't quite believe the day has flown by. So we have one category. We have the men's 34 to 42 age category, and we have 13 competitors in it. And they have just started their race there now. So out ahead, there's a quick show by Chris Heron and Martin Dowd, followed then by Brian Hannon and Declan O'Sullivan. They're just after 100 meters, and it is very close between them all. But Martin Dowd is there from St. Michael's Rowing Club in Dunleary. He is showing an early showing with Chris Heron. He's actually after taking the lead now with a split of 127, 128. 200 meters in. Now Guy O'Leary is after taking the lead. God, there's nothing between these guys. All rowing excellent. There's splits there. You're seeing 124 Guy O'Leary, Chris Heron 129, Brian Hannon 127, which are phenomenal splits. They're now with 700 meters left in this race. So out in the lead is Guy O'Leary, who is representing crew class there in Dublin under the guidance of former world rowing champion Niall O'Toole. Second place currently is Chris Herron. Chris is representing the engine room from Dublin. Then we have Brian Hannon, who is competing. I think he's after going into second place there now. And Brian is from Dublin. Yeah, he's just after taking second place, although himself and Chris Hearn are fighting out for those second and third places. Then you have David McKechnie there sitting in fourth place. David is also from Dublin. Then you've Declan O'Sullivan. He is representing Kilmac-Simon Rowing Club down in Cork, and I know he won the men's relay at the Irish Indoor Rowing Championships back in January with his team from Kilmac-Simon. Then we have Declan Kelly, we have Ross Reid, we have David McCadden, we have Martin Dowd, Alan Doyle, David Cullen, Ian Hall and Patrick Harrington, who is representing Galliflash, my own club there down in West Cork. But out in the lead it is Guy O'Leary. He has just 300 metres left. He has an incredible split, 1:24 for 500 metres, followed close within a second place by Brian Hannon. Chris Herron just hanging on to that third place, but David McKechnie is hanging on there. He's in fourth place. Let's see if he can get up, do one place better. He is rated about 44 strokes a minute at the moment. But as they're into the last 200 metres, you have Guy O'Leary still powering out ahead with a split of 1:24. He's just approaching the 100 metre mark. Brian Hannon still hanging on in there in second place. Chris Herron and David McKechnie, there's a great race between the two of those. I think David might just have overtaken Chris. He's gone into third place. They're into the last maybe 70, 60 metres. We'll see who gets third place. Oh, Chris is after taking it now again as Guy O'Leary just approaches the finish line, followed by Brian Hannon. Well done, guys. Great splits there. Chris and David crossing the line very closely. Not sure who finished third and fourth there, followed by Declan O'Sullivan from Kilmac-Simon. You've Declan Kelly just coming up to it. David McCadden, Ross Reid, they're all approaching very quickly, followed by Martin Dowd. Well done, guys. David Cullen, Alan Doyle, Ian Hall and Patrick Harrington just coming in now. So the unofficial results of that race are Chris Herron, Chris Herron is finishing in first place. Sorry, I think we're after having a bit of technical difficulties, so the guy who finished first isn't coming up. So if anyone is having difficulties, do send a picture of your performance monitor in to VIRC support at ROWfit.ie. But as it stands there on your screen, Chris Herron there sitting in first place unofficially in a time of 2:59, so he just beat the 3-minute mark. You have Declan O'Sullivan there, Kilmac-Simon. He pulled 3:06.8. Then you have Declan Kelly there. He's from Kildare. He rode 3 minutes 8.1 seconds. You have Ross Reid, who is representing 8 oarsmen of the Apocalypse, from Newtown Abbey in Antrim. He is unofficially fourth place. You have Martin Dowd, who is representing St Michael's, sitting in fifth in a time of 3:14.3. David Cullen then representing St Michael's again, 3:15.7. Ian Hall is from Dublin and he pulled 3:17.7. Alan Doyle in a time of 3:18.3, representing D12 CrossFit there in Dublin. Patrick Harrington then of Galliflash, pulling 3:32. And you have David Cadden, who rode 3 minutes 39. So as I said, I think there might be a couple of technical difficulties there with that list. So remember, results are unofficial for 30 minutes until competitors get their performance monitors in. And again, if you had any difficulties, make sure you send that picture into VIRC support at ROWfit.ie. So that was the last race today, so I'm going to hand you back to Tom and Ryan.
Thanks very much for that, Niamh. Incredible racing then to finish out the day. That was something else.
It was massive.
Yeah, 2:59, breaking the 3-minute mark. That is incredible rowing. Holding a split of 1:29.5. That's the stuff
that makes me feel sick, to be honest.
As a young athlete,
yeah.
you don't see that split too often. So
no,
when it comes up on the screen, you get a bit excited.
They know what they're doing anyways to pull those scores.
I don't think the camera was off, but Ryan was getting very excited here, so he was. Yeah, it certainly was. So yeah, that caps today's racing. We're just waiting for some results to come through now. We're just going to finalise them, make sure they're all okay. But just to reiterate, because this is the first of a 3-part series, with larger races, there was some small technical difficulties, and it mainly stemmed from the fact that too many people were on the Wi-Fi at home. You friends and family at home, obviously they're cheering you on and they're tuning into the YouTube live stream and all the race data. But if they could use maybe mobile data or something like that instead of using the Wi-Fi, because it really slowed down the connection. And secondly, also, if you're using a company laptop, make sure that the firewall is disabled, or you have a personal laptop on hand, and make sure everything's set up and double checked a day before the race, because that really allows for a seamless day of racing. But other than that, it was an incredible day. I think a couple of months back now, this was only a pipe dream, but it's incredible. Like the first of a 3-part series. It's great to see so many people racing, so many people out there pushing hard, and the times were extremely competitive, not only amongst each other but against the records. We saw one competitor come 0.2 of a second off his own record.
This is really good stuff, and I think it's
incredible.
It's a really great thing from Joe Cantland to kind of really adapt to the conditions he was thrown with COVID and everything, and really start to make it an idea of an event, and the backing of Ivan Griffin and Brian Hyland to really kind of give us a good event for us to host and to be the face of in this. And it's been a great start to hopefully an even greater series, and hopefully you can invite your friends and family to compete, and get the clubs that are around you to get involved and really create some more competition, because we're ready for you, and we can really get a good rowing community and atmosphere
Most
going
definitely.
with the outcome of COVID. I think we can really be
and driving force
have a bit of fun.
in the indoor rowing scene. If you have any comments or anything to add, we are on Twitter with IIRC, and we're also on Instagram. Our Instagram handle is ROWfit_Joe. So if you have any comments, anything to add, if Ryan needs a better looking co-host, or if I need a better looking co-host, or if you want to see Ivan, he's laughing now behind the camera, make sure you drop us a comment or just tweet at us at IIRC, or on Twitter, and then on Instagram at ROWfit_Joe. We'll definitely be utilising the social platforms a bit more in the coming weeks, building up towards the 24th of October and the 21st of November. If you're looking for any more information, we can provide. We have all the information up on www.iirc.ie/VIRC. That's www.iirc.ie/VIRC. Any information you may need about the indoor rowing races, what's involved, what equipment you need, training plans, everything you need.
All the info is there. And also registration is open for the next event on October 24th, so do get your entries in. And there is more variety of racing. There's a 5k, there's a 1k, and there's 500 meter races, so there's more variety. So if you're maybe not be the best at sprinting, but you're more of an endurance athlete, there is more variety for different athletes to compete at. And right now we have the podium results for the men's 43 to 49,000 meters, and that was a first place win for Dave Sheehan with a time of 3:03.6, which is a blistering time for him. Well done, Dave. Second place was Alex Pickett with a 3:05.0, and then third place was Michael O'Callaghan with 3:15.2, which was really great stuff off the men's 1,000 meters. And
Michael's a local Limerick man. He's like the Treaty Stone. He's renowned in the county.
He really is, and no, great racing off them, and definitely Alex, I think, can close that gap on Dave in the next
100%.
series, and maybe he might beat him in the 500 meter next time. So there's different types of racing that we can do, and hopefully they can send it out to their friends and get more men involved in that group.
Yeah, 100%. If Michael hasn't become Mayor of Limerick before the 21st of November, he should definitely be pushing for the first spot as well. There's very little between those three competitors, but an incredible win again for David Sheehan. Second place, Alex Pickett, very, very well rowed. Third place, very close as well.
Very close behind.
Third place then, Michael O'Callaghan from Shannon Rowing Club with a time of 3:15. Some questions were coming in. Do you have to row in the first race to row in the second too? No, absolutely not. You can enter at any time. You don't feel like you've missed out today. Obviously, it would have been incredible to have you involved if you weren't racing, but feel free to enter for the 24th of October. And if that doesn't suit, we've the Provincial Indoor Rowing Championships, virtually of course, brought to you on the 21st of November. So that's the 21st of November. That'll be the third and final race of the 3-part series.
And hopefully the biggest.
Yeah, definitely.
Should be some great stuff happening over the next couple of weeks, and
it's great. It's always nice as an athlete. I've always found it's always nice to have something to aim for. You know, if you're left kind of what's coming up,
no goals ahead. Yeah, and
this is brilliant. This offers that in spades.
Definitely, and I think it could be a great way to show some progression, and there's nothing like doing a hard test every month to kind of see where you're at and to show your fitness improving and the training paying off, which is a key thing, which is what you want to see when you're putting in all this effort.
Yeah. Who knows? I might beat you in November.
Yeah.
I doubt it, but I might.
We'll give it a go, won't you?
Yeah. I'll try and fail miserably. So yeah, I have that to look forward to. So we're just waiting on the final results of the other races. They're just coming in now. We're just verifying them, making sure everything's okay. Anybody who's sent in photos of their ERG screen, that's perfect. We'll just double check that and include you in the results sheet.
And the next results have come through for the men's 50 to 54,000 meters, which was another fast race for James McMurtry, who pulled a time of 3:03.8, which was very close off his record, and I'm sure he's chomping at the bit for the next one to break it, and would love to see it. Second place was Ronan Green with a time of 3 minutes 12 seconds, 0.2. And then Brian Gilmore with 3:14.7, so close there for second and third place. And I'm sure Brian is
incredible stuff.
Is getting ready for the next one, and hopefully can bring it to Ronan, and Ronan's gonna fire back and hopefully put it back to him.
James McMurtry there, he was 3:03.8. His record was 3:03.4, so he's 0.4 seconds off his own Irish record, which is incredible going for such. It's so early in the season, at just the start of October. It's incredible. That's an incredible performance.
I think if he had raised the rate up, it's that small few strokes.
Yeah, he was 31. I remember.
31, 32, which is a high rate for of anyone's age, but even in the men's 50 to 54, I think if you can increase it just a small bit more, he can get that 0.4 no problem, and really make it in for the last bit of the record.
So just to double check that and confirm that with you all at home, we have first place James McMurtry, second place Ronan Green, and third place Brian Gilmore. 6 seconds. Oh no, pardon me. There was 11 seconds separating the three rowers. Incredible performance by all in the men's 50 to 54 category. So we just have 6 or 7 podiums left, and they'll all be coming through now. So while we're waiting just to finalise those, we will just show you a little clip now we have of Phil Doyle talking about rowing for the Olympics and his progression through the sport.
Of course, you set an Irish record in the half marathon a few weeks ago, 1 hour 10 minutes 30.5 seconds. Like, would you have been able to do those things if you weren't in lockdown?
I don't think I would have attempted them, as in I would have been too busy trying to go through the training program and do the pieces that were a part of the training program. So I think having that little bit of freedom with some sessions, although that session was scheduled in that day, that was actually a bit of a strange day, because I was in actually doing a 8 a.m. to 9 p.m. shift in work that day. I had been on all weekend. It was like the end of like a 70-something hour week, and I had seen the girls, Afra Kyo and Sunita, had broken the world record in like each of their age categories. And I sort of then, seeing that in work, I was like, you know what, whenever I go back, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to try and go for, I actually attempted the world record, but very swiftly gave up on that idea about 14 minutes in, when the lactate was about to pull me apart. But I think whenever I seen what they did, I was like, I'm not going to be left out here. So I know that they're working hard. And whenever I get home, that was my motivation, knowing that what they had done. So I was like, if they're able to push themselves, then why can't I? So that was probably one of the best days for like being motivated by those people who you train with, because I seen what they did, and then I was like, you know what, I'm gonna have a pop at that too. And I settled for a British and an Irish record, but I don't know if I would attempt the world one again, because 21,000 meters is just 20,000 meters too far.
Perfect. So that was a brilliant video there of Phil Doyle talking about his progression through the sport. Phil started rowing, I think it was about 6 years ago, as a novice. He, you know, as we've seen today, there was rowers rowing for their first time. They've only been rowing 18 months or so. First race this weekend. Phil started the sport when he came into college as a fresher, up in Queens in Belfast. And look at him now; he's 6 years down the road. 6 years of tough training, but you know,
study
and studying.
Doctor and Olympian, or soon to be Olympian, hopefully. Yeah.
But it just shows you what you can achieve in the sport in such a relatively short space of time. Yeah, definitely 6 years.
We'll put the time and the commitment in, and it really shows.
6 years, and you were junior single champion. You know,
a bit few less than 6. I think I'm not that old. Yeah,
yeah, that's true. That's true. But would I be right in saying you also won the Club 4? Can I assume that?
You can assume that. In 2019.
Tell me more about it.
Yeah, it was good. We had main man Decky O'Connor and 2C from St Michael's, and
big shout out to the old man.
It is, yeah. He
old dog.
retired after that. It was his
Swan Sam,
his championship win, and he was very happy with it. We all were, and we really pulled a rabbit out of the bag, or out of the hat, should I say, and gave a good performance. And yeah, it was a highlight of the year for 2019. And sadly, we couldn't do another championship racing again this year, but. Now the training's kicking on, and we're getting ready for next year. Along with these races, and we might be competing ourselves.
Would you do it again?
November.
Would you do it again? Would you?
Yeah,
you'd love to.
Well, it was the Club 4 was won by I think it was 8 inches or something like that. So it was.
You'd like a bigger margin next time.
I'd like a bigger margin, more comfortable margin next time.
You'd like to know at the 250 mark.
You can't really decide those things.
Yeah,
I'll just put more training in, and every stroke counts for that.
So we have another podium to bring to you. We have the women's 27 to 33 category here now in the 1,000 meter piece. We have Amanda Gulsarian coming from the US of A, all the way from the United States of America. She pulled a brilliant time of 3:39.2, and then in second place we have Carol McCarthy coming in with a time of 4:05. So there was quite a difference there between Amanda and Carol, but nonetheless 6 weeks more training, and you know Carol could be with the first place beside her.
Definitely. And maybe Amanda can get some more members of the USA clubs around her to get more of an international pedigree into the virtual indoor rowing scene here, and create some more competition for for Carol and herself. And no, it's good to see the international rowers coming across and getting a good race off us. It's great to see.
Another question that was asked of us: do you have to be a member of a club? And the answer is no. You don't have to be a member of a club at all. All you need is an internet connection, PM3, an ERG, a rowing machine with a PM3 model, PM3 monitor, PM4 monitor, or a PM5 monitor. And if you have that internet connection, the laptop and the rowing machine, there's nothing stopping you. There's no reason to not jump.
And the appropriate cable, which you can find on the info on the website.
Yeah,
it's a different type of USB cable. You'd find them on your printers, but that's the cable you need to connect to the laptop to the computer. Laptop to the ERG. So
and all that
in mind, and have that prep done before the regatta, so you're not doing it on the day, because you have enough to be concerned about, enough to be prepped and getting ready for your race and warming up.
All that information again is available on www.iirc.ie/VIRC. So that's www.iirc.ie/VIRC. And if there's any other questions you need answered, there's a lot of information up there, and hopefully if you go there if you're looking to find something out, you'll 100% find it there. But if you have any other questions, send them into the Twitter and send them into the Instagram as well. The Twitter is IIRC, and then our Instagram is ROWfit_Joe. So if you have any questions, send them in. We'd be more than happy to answer them. So we just have a couple more podiums coming in now. We're just finalising results. It's been a great day of racing. I don't know about you, but I'm sweating, and and I certainly wasn't on the rowing machine.
Yeah, definitely. It was hard to watch at some points. I was had a bead of sweat running down the floor, and I sitting on the edge of my seat with some of the racing going on, and I'm sure the rowers were sweating a bit more than me, but fair play to them. And no, it was good to watch and exciting to watch, and it's great.
How did you find the transition, say, when we had to row from home? How did you find the transition?
It was tough, but again, to want to win and to get a championship, you have to really take it and definitely put in the work. So you have to keep yourself honest and do the work in yourself.
So we have another podium to bring you. It's the women's 34 to 42 category. In first place, we have Africa O'Sullivan with a time of 3 minutes 30 seconds 0.1 millisecond. Second place, we have Ciara Conway with a time of 3:46.7. And then third place, we have Kathleen McGonigal with a time of 3:47.1. So that is the women's 34 to 42 age category, 1,000 metre piece. Africa O'Sullivan coming in first place, Ciara Conway coming in second place, and Kathleen McGonigal coming in third place. Africa came in at a time of 3:30.1. Ciara Conway came in at a time of 3:46.7, and Kathleen McGonigal came in with a time of 3:47.7. Incredible racing again from these athletes.
Only 0.4 of a second between second and third place there, so I think Kathleen will be around to go to push on to Ciara, and Ciara will have to defend her second place title, and
she'll want to be pushing on for first as well.
She'll want to be pushing for first, yeah.
Definitely.
Put a bit of pressure on Africa would be a good sight to see, and no, again, well done to all of those crews that raced, and hopefully you'll be making the podium next time round, and maybe in more than one category. Again, we have the 500, the 1k and the 5k for the next series, so do please enter more than one if you're up for it, and hopefully we'll see some records broken and some good racing.
Definitely. So, and just before we had that podium there, I was asking you about how did you adapt? What was it that helped you the most? Like, what was it? Just the thought of the championship? Was it like for these athletes? It was the thought of the race today. That's what they're training for.
That's what they're training. We were still like COVID wasn't a predictable thing, so so the championships was still going to be run ahead in October. So we were going to be prepped for September. So we were going to be prepped for that. So that was my goal, to kind of keep fit and to make sure that I was doing more than the next person, and that was kind of my motivation to get up and sit on the machine for 2 hours on end and get the work done. And here we have the women's junior 18,000 metre results, and that was a win for Amy Carey with a time of 3 minutes and 38 seconds 0.1, and the second place was Tara Ducey with 3 minutes 52.1, which was really good times.
Tara Ducey, the power behind Tarahan Bay Rowing Club. So it is. So she is. And again, there would be a couple seconds there between the two for 1,000 meters, but nothing that they can't close. 14 seconds. But Tara Ducey, if she puts her head down now over the next 6 weeks and comes back 21st November, first of all on the 24th of October and then the 21st November, there's no reason why she can't take the first place. And Amy Carey with a fantastic time of 3:38.1. That's really, really incredible going. And what we have to remember as well is that there's going to be more and more athletes entering, hopefully over the next couple of months and the next couple of weeks. So, while there's only 2 athletes here on the podium, there's going to be a lot more pushing for those and gunning for the first spot. So we definitely have to stay on top of our game and keep training hard, keep enjoying it and keep having fun. Definitely. And keep pushing those times down. But for today, Amy Carey taking it first place and Tara Ducey in second place. Amy coming in with a time of 3:38.1 and Tara with 3:52.1. Incredible times by both girls. So with regards to training and having your own rowing machine, how did you go about? Did you have a rowing machine at home already, or were you able to borrow one from the club?
Thankfully, in St Michael's, they lended out a few of the ergs and equipment to facilitate the athletes in the club, which was very thankful for them for that. And we had it set up in the living room and outside with every room possible, and it was tough to do. And the mother and the father weren't too happy on the Saturday mornings when you were making noise in the living room,
banging deadlifts out,
and the fan going. But sure, they all had their go on it as well to keep the fitness, true. And it was good to have, and sure we made the most of it, and we kept it fun, we kept it interesting. Did varying of sprint intervals and long distance and marathon rows, and they're all just as hard as each other in their own way. And I'm sure we'll see that now with the likes of the 5K now and the next one, that there'll be more endurance athletes coming in that maybe not be as fast as sprinters as some as the ex-rugby players that we have here that are power athletes and they can really show their strength. It'll be more endurance, and it's 5 times the length of the 1K that we had today, so it'll be very interesting to see who shines through in the longer distances. So we'll hope to see who was training in long distance and who was doing the sprint intervals during COVID.
So we have another podium to bring you, the men's 27 to 33 age group category here now in the 1000 metre piece. We've Conor Cassidy coming in first place with a time of 2:57.2, an incredible time to break the 3 minute mark. Second place then we have Maris Sheehy coming in 3:01.7, only just over 4 seconds between the two athletes. And then we have Tony Byrne coming in third place with a time of 3:16.9. Incredible racing in this category. A split of 1:32, around 1:32 would get you just around the 3 minute mark, and to break it is something very special.
Yeah, definitely. And for to get 2:57, I think it was a 1:29 split.
1:29, that's incredible.
Maybe 1:28 even. It was very impressive from Conor to show such power while also holding it for the length of time that he did. And very probably one of the fastest times of the day, I think. We'll have to go back over those times to confirm it, but it was very impressive. He got a hard start and he held it, sustained it throughout the middle, so it really shows that he's been putting in the effort, and I'm sure if he puts in a bit more time and a bit more effort into the training that he's doing, he may come out with an Irish record if he puts the time in, which is great to see, and hopefully we'll get to witness it in the next coming weeks.
Damien Brown has the current Irish record for the age group between 30 and 39 with the men's heavyweight 1000 metre piece. It's a time of 2:49.3. So just for Conor Cassidy's information there, and Maris Sheehy and even Tony Byrne, if he's looking to break an Irish record, it is a time of 2:49.3. That is the record you would like to level.
And there is more than just the 1K records. I'm sure there's 100 metre records, 500 metres, 1 minute, 1K, 2K. There is a 6K, 5K, 30-minute test. There's loads of records to break. So you may be a sprint athlete or a long endurance athlete. There is the record for you to go after and beat, and there's their age categories, lightweight and heavyweight. So there's no excuses not to try and go for the record in your category. So
definitely
go take a look at them on the Concept 2 website, and you'll sure to find your category.
A famous rower, Sam Locke, he's an ex-international Australian rower. He managed to pull 2:39 for a 1000 metre piece in that same category from 30 to 39. So that's really incredible going. If you're looking to break world records,
and that's the high standard.
That is where you want to be at, 2:39.5.
And next we have the men's open results for the 1000 metres, which was a first place win for David Duggan with a time of 3 minutes 3 seconds 0.8. Closely followed by Ross Duffy with a time of 3 minutes 5 seconds 0.9. And then third place was Cillian O'Driscoll with 3:27 flat. So really good, impressive stuff off those three men there in the men's open 1000 metres. I'm sure if David Duggan could really press on now and hopefully slip underneath that 3 minute marker, breaking that 1:30 split, I'm sure he can manage it.
Definitely, 100%. There's no reason why you can't push on now in the next 6 weeks. Hit the ground running. Starting Monday, take Sunday off. Rest up. It's a tough day's racing. Put your body on the line.
An off day tomorrow.
Yeah, definitely. A refeed, maybe a pizza here or there, maybe a few wine gums and a digestive biscuit with your tea.
Definitely.
Definitely hit the ground running again Monday.
Definitely give me a good excuse to have a treat tonight and hit it back hard, maybe Sunday or Monday. So yeah, definitely.
What would be your go-to after?
It has to be a good pizza.
Really?
Oh yeah.
16-inch? Would you go with the whole hog, or would you go 10-inch?
I'll go with the whole hog. You have to. If you want to do it, you might as well go all out with it. Sure. So it's
brilliant stuff.
It's good to see, and Yeah, really well done to all the crews that are really pressed on and got the job done today. And now we have the men's junior 18,000 meter piece, which was a first place win for our very own SMRC and St Michael's Rowing Club in Limerick for David Foley, pulling a time of 3 minutes and 12 seconds, 0.3. And then closely followed by Christopher Kemp in second place, also SMRC there for 3:17.3. And then third place was Thomas Davis, who pulled a time of 3 minutes 18 seconds, 0.3. So it's really good stuff there. Thomas was hot on the heels of Chris Kemp there. He can probably push on there. It's only a second between them. So let's see if he can take Chris spot for the next one.
1 second split in the two, like that's incredible going. A brilliant battle for second and third place
for the 1,000 meter race. So
David Foley really pushing hard there with 3:12.3. That's
stretched out his lead,
incredible lead. And David was racing this morning. There was a race out in Castleconnell this morning on the water, and he rushed back home and set up his erg and decided to do another 1,000 meters on top of the 3 kilometers he already did this morning. So it's
very impressive.
That's incredible going to pull that split. And Christopher Kemp, he was also training this morning. He was out in O'Brien's Bridge training with St Michael's Rowing Club, and again to pull 3:17.3. That's equally as impressive. Yeah, definitely. Great to see such a strong SMRC contingent up at the top of a leaderboard in the men's junior 18 1,000 meter piece.
We don't sound biased at all.
No, we're not biased one bit.
No, we're supportive of every club, but we do have to mention it.
Definitely.
It'd be rude not to.
We'll have the flag up the next day. So we bleed blue and yellow, so we do. But yeah, incredible stuff by all 3 athletes there. Young athletes pushing on. They've an exciting season ahead of them. Your junior year, it's a really big year for your own career. It really sets the tone. Some juniors kind of maybe they park it after they finish their junior career, and they just want to
go to college.
Yeah, a new
focus on their career.
Exactly, new chapter in their life. And other rowers, they might struggle the whole way up through junior. Might have an okay junior year.
Yeah.
They might not top every podium they every race they enter, but certainly then they push on and they go into college
progression. And they really make a name for themselves throughout their college years. And sure, before you know it, you could be winning every indoor event and world championship events and really making a name for yourself.
Definitely. David Foley especially has a few indoors medals from the past.
I'm sure he has a record or two that he held for a couple of weeks. I'm not sure if it's beaten, but he has. He's no fear of on the erg.
No, he's no stranger to that event.
No, not at all.
To the indoors. And no stranger to that event would be Joe Cantillon as well. As we said in the past, Joe lives for the indoors, and he's crying here now behind the scenes because he won't get to see all our lovely faces come November and January. We have one more podium to bring to you, the men's 34 to 42 category in the 1,000 meter piece. In first place we have Chris Heron with a time of 2:59, again breaking the 3 minute mark. Incredible stuff. Second place Declan O'Sullivan in a time of 3:06.8, and then third place we have another Declan Kelly, 3:08.1. Fantastic racing here by the 3 crews. 9 seconds between them, splitting first to third. Chris, again, just to confirm, coming in first. Declan O'Sullivan in second, and then Declan Kelly in third place. 2:59, incredible score again. Not the first time we saw someone break 3, but
no, Chris Heron really making a name for himself there, and the name of the club, the Engine Room in London. So it's
it really speaks volumes.
It does, yeah. He lived up to the name of the club anyways, and pulled a savage time at 2:59, breaking that 1:30 split. So yeah, he's a man to have in the Engine Room anyways, isn't he?
Would you love him in the middle of an 8? Declan O'Sullivan then coming in 3:08, and Declan Kelly 2 seconds splitting the 2 Declans in second and third place. So that is the final podium that caps off our racing. So the results will be live on Time Team on their website, www.time-team.nl. We will also have the more info up on www.iirc.ie/VIRC. So we will.
So yeah. And we'd like to thank Niamh Hayes for the graphic videos and graphic design that she put together in between the races. They're really worth a good watch and listen to. She put a lot of hard work into. And also thank you to Ivan Griffin, Brian Hyland, Niamh Hayes, Joe Cantillon, Nick from the time team in the Netherlands, in Amsterdam, and thanks to Tom as well. And hopefully we'll look forward to seeing you all in the 24th of October.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
get your entries in, and we'll see you in 3 weeks.